75 years of policy.
75 years of opportunity.
75 years of freedom.
This is 75 years of the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
Join us at NBA75.org.
Imagine the hospital experience. There's a constant parade of serious doctors, and a serious diagnosis. Scary surgeries are followed by painful recoveries. You're in the hospital for days, weeks, months. Now imagine you're a child. This is why Starlight exists. Starlight programs help kids in the hospital cope, build resilience, bolster confidence, and change their outlook, because happiness matters. Visit starlight.org to learn more.
Making sense of your world on the go. Stream your favorite shows, get the day's top headlines, and access our podcast archives, all with the new WMAL app. This is for you. Get the WMAL app on Google Play or the Apple App Store, and stay connected.
Here's Carlos Ramirez in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
Two separate incidents on the BW Parkway. Southbound seems like it was a broken down vehicle just as make way past Powder Mill. Sounds like at least one lane was blocked there with delays back towards 198. Northbound is a mess on DC 295. You're slow from East Capitol Street onto the BW Parkway past 450 where there is a crash blocking at least one lane. Inbound side of 395, a lot of folks taking that South Capitol Street exit. I wonder why. You got brake lights as far back as the Pentagon. And southbound GW Parkway sounds like we might have a crash just after the Reagan exit, so be ready for that. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
All right, after some rain early part of the day, our skies are clearing. Temperatures, though, will drop from the 60s to the 50s this evening. By morning, a cool start at 42 to 49 degrees throughout the area, but a spectacular Saturday with low humidity, a breeze out of the northwest. Temperatures from 73 to 78 degrees, lots of sunshine. 7 News Chief Meteorologist Veronica Johnson in the First Alert Weather Center.
Right now, 62 degrees in Washington. I'm Heather Curtis on WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Mark Levin.
Of a hidden bunker somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with our leader, Mark Levin.
Mark Levin here. Our number, 877-381-3811, 877-381-3811. We're a little raucous. A nice detention facility in Newark, New Jersey. You know, I actually like Newark, New Jersey. Maybe I'm a nut or something, but I like it. You know, being from Philadelphia, I understand cities. I mean, there's certain more dangerous areas and so forth, but I like the Acela station there. I used to like the airport, which they're going to get fixed. They have a nice arena there where there used to be UFC fighting when they couldn't get it in Madison Square Garden because of the nut job Democrats blocking that. But in any event, it's very convenient. I hate JFK Airport. Do you hate that airport, Mr. Burdett? It's the most inconvenient, stupid airport, the way it's laid out. LaGuardia is pretty good, but they're always under construction. All right, anyway, we're going to have Alina Habba on the program, interim U.S. Attorney for New Jersey, for a segment explaining what took place next hour, but I want to get into it anyway. You have this Newark mayor, Ras Baraka. Ras Baraka. He's arrested while protesting ICE detention facility vowed to shut down. And there's a backstory to this, but let me go through the New York Post story. New York Mayor, New Jersey gubernatorial candidate Bas Baraka was arrested today outside the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement detention facility that he vowed to shut down. But this is a federal facility. Video posted by X at just about 3 p.m. by a News 12 New Jersey reporter showed Baraka with his hands cuffed behind his back, being led away from the detention center by a Homeland Security Investigations officer. Very important. Just remember, nobody's above the law. Will he get due process? You get the same due process Donald Trump got, a.k.a. none. Baraka committed trespass, ignored multiple warnings from Homeland Security investigations to remove himself from the ICE detention in New Jersey. In Newark this afternoon, Alina said, he has willingly chosen to disregard the law. That will not stand in this state. He's been taken into custody. She posted, no one is above the law. Not even you, Tisha, Tish, Tukas, James. More on her later. It came after Baraka and several New Jersey Democrat Congress people, Representatives Bonnie Watson Coleman, Robert Menendez, no doubt a chip off the old shoulder of the old man, and LaMonica McIver, showed up at the Delaney Hall ICE facility calling for it to be shut down. Now, I want all the citizens in and around Newark, to understand that your representatives are there defending illegal immigrants who they do not want to remove. We're at Delaney Hall, a nice prison in Newark that opened without permission from the city and in violation of local ordinances. Well, the idiot, it's a federal facility. Coleman wrote in a post on X, along with pictures and videos of the scene. We've heard stories of what it's like in other ICE prisons. They're not ICE prisons, they're detention facilities, but she does this purposely. We're exercising our oversight authority to see for ourselves, she wrote. No, they're not. Haba claimed that, Haba claimed that Baraka was inside the facility, was warned, was asked to leave several times, but he refused. These ignoramus politicians, cocky like they run the earth, that the law doesn't apply to them. Well, apparently it does. Baraka was put under arrest inside the facility, walked out when he was told he was under arrest. So they said, you're under arrest. And he says, all right, screw you. And he walks out. And then he was cuffed outside the facility. She said in an interview, HSI did absolutely everything correct, said Haba, who was appointed by President Trump. When you break the law, there's no grandstanding that's going to help you, period. The end. Again, we'll have her on the program in about an hour. Baraka, who is a front runner, oh, good Lord, for the Democratic nomination for this year's New York governor's race, had gone to the ICE facility Tuesday, the same day it was reopened, claiming he did not have the required permits to operate. Yeah, right, required permits. And at the protest, the Democrat accused the detention center of turning away local fire inspectors, following a judge's order that allowed city officials to examine the site. So this is what the mayor of Newark's busy doing. The candidate for, what was he, governor or senator? Governor. This is what he's busy doing. He demanded full fire safety and health inspections following a previous inspection that reportedly found violations that put his first responders at risk. Yeah, I'm sure he didn't tell them what to do. The mayor vowed he would return to Delaney Hall to protest every day until it's closed, according to local reports. Good. Sure, you're under arrest. You can do it. We want them to follow our rules, follow our laws, Baraka said at the time. It's funny, but he's dealing with illegal immigrants, and he wants the Trump administration to follow the rules and the laws, but apparently not for foreigners who are here illegally. And God knows what they've done. They're in these detention centers. So we'll follow up on this, but we do have some audio outside the ICE facility in Newark. Representative LaMonica McIver, another Democrat from New Jersey, after the Newark mayor was arrested. Cut 4, go.
What we just witnessed was just disgusting.
I gotta love it. Hold on. That's my train there. That's the Acela train, baby. Drowning her out. Go ahead.
What we just witnessed was just disgusting. I am very upset. I am very angry, and I am very hurt that they could be
And you're
able to
very
do something
stupid. I just thought I'd add that. Go ahead.
The people who are supposed to be officers, who are supposed to protect us, and they have done none of that. If they can treat 3 members of Congress like that, just
Well, when
imagine
you commit a crime, you're trespassing, you're on federal property, you're asked to leave, you won't leave, you'll get arrested. That's the way it works. The law is the law. And you clowns, you fools, talking about how you're abused and how other people would be treated, you committed a crime. Go ahead.
people on the street each and every day, both undocumented and people who are citizens here in this country. It makes absolutely no sense.
It has nothing to do with citizen. I love that train. It has nothing to do with citizens who are in our country. You're in an ICE detention center. You're to be deported. You're not supposed to be here. That's a federal power under our federal constitution. Go ahead.
To arrest the mayor of the largest city.
Well, the dumbass was breaking the law. What do you mean? To arrest the largest city in New Jersey. Can you imagine that? Yes, I can. Because the dumbass violated the law. Go ahead.
Who did nothing wrong. He went inside of the gate and told them that he was waiting for us to come out because we were conducting.
And they asked him to leave. He was trespassing. You don't protest and do your political drama crap inside a federal ICE detention center. It's a law enforcement center. And some of the people in there are very dangerous, and you're disrupting it. You know you're disrupting it. That was your intention, and he got arrested. And he says, as a matter of fact, so you have his state of mind, he's going back every single day. Okay. Throw his ass in jail every single day. Go ahead.
They asked him to leave. He left out of the gate.
No, that's not what happened. They asked him to leave, and he wouldn't leave. Then they said, you're under arrest. And then he walked away from them. And then he was arrested outside the gate. Alina Habba will explain all this in some detail when she's on the program in about an hour. Go ahead.
Officials that were here who were supposed to be here to lead us on a tour, they then came out to have a huddle to talk about how the mayor was inside and that he should be arrested.
Okay, thank you. Next moron, that would be Robert Menendez of the famous Menendez family. I believe his father's doing prison time right now. But Robert's a chip off the old block. He's a moron. What did he have to say today as he was there? Cut 5, go.
We know what ICE has been doing in our communities. We know that the president lied and this administration lies every day when they're saying they're going after criminals. It is not true.
Well, they can go after criminals and they can go after people who commit misdemeanors coming into the country illegally. That's the way it works. You're not supposed to be here. Go ahead.
Feel no weight of the law. They feel no restraint on what they should be doing. And that was shown.
So here they're enforcing the law, and the moron Democrats are saying they're not being restrained by the law. I mean, it's you really have to have applesauce for a brain to be a Democrat these days. You really do. This guy's an idiot. And of course, he won his office as a congressman because of his genius, his hard work. He's just unbelievable. Have nothing to do with his name, Menendez. Go ahead.
Like today, when they not just
First of all, I'd shake this guy down and make sure there's so many gold bars on him. Wouldn't you, Mr. Producer? I'd be checking this guy out, gold bars, cigarettes, you know. Nothing's safe. Maybe he had lunch at a restaurant and stole the salt and pepper shaker. By the way, we had that happen once to our family. We had this guy over. We do a little fundraiser years ago at my mother-in-law's home in New Jersey. And I was there, my wife, and a few other people. They were there perfectly fine. The guy was relatively wealthy. And then what happens is, this is the truth. You know, we're cleaning up a few hours later and the salt and pepper shakers are missing, Mr. Producer.
Program went off. Fucker.
Stole them. Anyway, go ahead.
To work But when they put their hands on two members of Congress who are standing behind me.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. They're committing crimes. They know they're trying to disrupt what's taking place in the ICE prison, aka detention center. They all know that. And now this clown, whose dad is in prison, where prison guards and maybe a guy named Ernie are putting hands on his dad all the time, he's upset. You don't get to put your hands on a liberal Democrat. No, even when they're committing crimes. We don't do that in America. Go ahead.
How is this acceptable?
Shut up, you idiot. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
In times like these, savvy Americans are doing something the mainstream media won't talk about. They're diversifying with physical gold. Gold has stood the test of time, not for decades, but for thousands of years. It's a real asset, not a promise on paper. Doesn't get wiped out when markets crash, jump up and down like a roller coaster. Adding gold to your retirement portfolio is one of the most powerful ways to help protect your savings. And Advantage Gold is the company I trust to help you do it the right way. They'll show you how to legally move your IRA or 401k into physical gold and silver with no gimmicks, just solid protection and peace of mind. So call them right now, 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. It's never too late to make your portfolio stronger, smarter, and more secure. That's 800-900-8000. Protect what you've earned with something you can hold in your hand and trust in your heart. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Dealing with a new crash on the northbound side of 270 right by Montrose Road. 3 lanes blocked over on the left-hand side of the roadway, and that's causing delays back onto the 270 spur and back towards the Beltway. If you're on the inner loop, this is adding to your already heavy delays. You got slowdowns from the American Legion Bridge all the way up towards the 270 spur, and then you have no relief until you get past the crash at Montrose. Inner loop of the Beltway, you're jammed up as you make your way from 450 all the way down towards 202. Northbound BW Parkway, the crash near 450 in the clearing stages, but you're still very slow, almost as far back as East Capitol Street. In Virginia, slow across the 14th Street Bridge and the 3rd Street Tunnel. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Tonight, clearing, lows in the upper 40s. Tomorrow, sunny, breezy, and warmer with highs in the 70s.
Nightly Scroll with Haley Carania.
I'm Haley Carania. I scroll with the homies here in the live chat, and I love my long scrolls on my phone at night. The show is literally called Nightly Scroll. My screen time has reached astronomical levels, but I do it to get all of the videos and all of the content that you won't find anywhere else. I don't want to be surrounded by an echo chamber, so I hope you join me. Someone just said the show is great. Keep it up. Thank you. I will.
Nightly Scroll with Haley Carania. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
75 years of research.
75 years of policy.
75 years of opportunity.
75 years of freedom.
This is 75 years of the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
Join us at mda75.org.
Hi, I'm Vince Callahan, host of The Vince Show and Vince Podcast. It's a show with an obsessive focus on what's good for America. I'll give you the truth beneath the headlines of all of the nation's top stories. The Vince Show is redefining news talk with in-depth interviews, live caller interactions, and a front row seat to the most important conversations of the day, every day. The Vince Show and Vince Podcast.
WMAL's Vince Colonnese, weekdays at noon. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
No Contest Wrestling, O'Shea Jackson Jr. and TJ Jefferson with the biggest names in the game.
Give it up for the Dark Angel.
First one.
First.
I can believe it.
NXT double champion. Welcome to King, Lexus King.
I don't know if I'd be where I'm at now if I didn't take the path that I took.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jada Parker. What made you after the soccer career go WWE?
The answer I always have to that is like, why not?
The No Contest Wrestling Podcast, part of the Rich Eisen Podcast Network. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
As a young adult at this point in your life, you probably have a lot of questions. Like, what's next? What does my future hold? The thing is, there's no right answer, only your answer. Your friendships, experiences, and purpose. It's all your choice. So what will you choose? As you make choices about the future, the military can be a resource for information to help bring a fulfilling path into focus. A public service message from the Department of Defense. To learn more, visit todaysmilitary.com.
Making sense of the headlines, making sense of your world. WMAL's Vince Colonnades.
Thank you for all you do on the radio show.
What a nice call. Thank you very much.
Weekdays, noon to 3. News Talk 105.9. WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Hey there, I'm Paula Pan, host of the Afford Anything podcast. I help people make the smartest money decisions possible.
You should not do the 401k loan.
Reason number 4,872. Are we heading for a recession?
You'd be shocked.
Dumping it into the house?
Invest in flipping houses.
Mathematically the better option.
Paula Pan's really keeping us in business.
Because face it, money's too important to wing it. Review your budget.
Take the reins.
Sharpen your skills.
Do the things
Start a side hustle
that will affect your life.
Right. Afford Anything. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
WMAL, making sense of world events, because those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Letitia, is that you, Letitia? In her residence in Northern Virginia? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Bought a property with her husband, who turns out to be her father. Much like Omar. Didn't she marry her brother? Oh, it gets so confusing on the Democrat side. Then, of course, we talk about the brownstone in Brooklyn, where she claimed there were 4 units when in fact there were 5. This is fraud. And she isn't even paying for her own legal bills. No, she's not paying for legal bills. What a sleazeball. So here's a resident. She's at a town hall meeting in New York, Valhalla. And here is a resident who wants to speak to the Attorney General, Letitia James, yesterday. Cut one, go.
Will you apologize to President Trump for wasting millions of dollars and the state of New York for a witch trial? And how does it feel to know that you will be in prison for mortgage fraud?
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
Thank you for
You're at the woman's prison or the men's prison? Go ahead.
We want to thank him for coming. We respect all opinions. Everybody knows those allegations are baseless. They're discredited. And so we want to thank him.
How are they baseless and discredited? They've published the forms. Did you see them, Mr. Producer? In the New York Post and elsewhere. They're not discredited. They're not baseless. They're evidence of criminal activity. Ooh. Here's Tish Moore during the town hall. Cut 2, go.
Either we fight for our democracy, my friends, or we lose it.
Don't you love when the thugs, the despots, the tyrants talk about democracy? Don't they sound like Xi, I mean the American version, or Putin, I mean the American version, where they throw around the word democracy, but really they're talking about tyranny? Go ahead.
It's tyranny or oligarchy.
Oh, yeah.
And I refuse to accept either option.
Who cares what you refuse to accept? You're going to have a set of bracelets, hopefully soon, behind your back, be a little uncomfortable, and then you'll have your own prison cell, you and some very big woman named Margaret. And you'll have your own special orange jumpsuit. They'll have to probably buy an orange tent somewhere and customize it and make it for you, but that's okay. It's okay. And make sure, as I said the other day, bring a lot of cigarettes so you can trade for a few extra, muffins and maybe some extra entrees. Go ahead.
So,
The clapping seal.
sit idly by and allow them to trample on your rights.
Oh.
You elected me to stand up and defend the Constitution and the rule of law, not to protect and defend a king.
Oh, very clever. But remember, the Constitution is a white supremacist document put together by slavers. Don't you remember what you were taught by the 1619 Project and that clown Mistel, or whatever the hell his name, from The Nation? We got this for 2 or 3 years, on and on and on, about how we're supposed to reject our founding, the framers, the Constitution. Now they keep talking about the Constitution. I'm starting to think they're constipated. I'll be right back. The Middle Eastern landscape is reshaping before our eyes. As people try to modify maps and redraw lines, history is unfolding at this very moment. The nation of Israel stands naturally at the center of these groundbreaking events. Many believe that what happens in the Middle East has never been more important and never more filled with potential, but fraught with peril. Christians United for Israel, one of America's largest pro-Israel organizations, is leading the charge to bring Christians and Jews together to support the Holy Land. This summer, join thousands of pro-Israel Americans at the 20th annual Christian United for Israel Washington Summit, June 29th through July 1st. I will be there. My family will be there. So, folks, register for the 20th annual CUFI Washington Summit today at CUFI.org. That's CUFI.org. Use promo code LEVIN25, LEVIN25. Be part of this amazing grassroots movement that is at the forefront of history.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 6:30. I'm Heather Curtis. Some potentially good news ahead of tomorrow's meeting between U.S. and Chinese officials to talk trade. President Trump posted on Truth Social today that an 80% tariff on China seems right, down from the current 145%. But White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says
he is not going to unilaterally bring down tariffs on China.
She says the U.S. wants concessions from China. The man who set an American flag on fire outside Union Station during violent protests of Israeli Prime Minister's July visit is sentenced today to 4 months of probation and 40 hours of community service. North Carolina resident Michael Snow Jr. was also ordered to pay $525 in restitution. He pleaded guilty to destruction of government property. Traffic and weather next.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months and whose daughter is due any day. We're with all service members and their families. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today.
As a young adult at this point in your life, you probably have a lot of questions. Like, what's next? What does my future hold? The thing is, there's no right answer, only your answer. Your friendships, experiences, and purpose. It's all your choice. So what will you choose? As you make choices about the future, the military can be a resource for information to help bring a fulfilling path into focus. A public service message from the Department of Defense. To learn more, visit todaysmilitary.com.
Nightly Scroll with Haley Karania.
I'm Haley Karania. I scroll with the homies here in the live chat, and I love my long scrolls on my phone at night. The show is literally called Nightly Scroll. My screen time has reached astronomical levels, but I do it to get all of the videos and all of the content that you won't find anywhere else. I don't want to be surrounded by an echo chamber, so I hope you join me. Someone just said the show is great. Keep it up. Thank you. I will.
Nightly Scroll with Haley Karania. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Your phone has a lot of apps, but how many of them help you make sense of your world? The new WMAL app gives you the latest headlines, perspective from the voices you trust, and weather info to keep you in the know, all without having to remember yet another password.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Stream your favorite shows, get the day's top headlines, and access our podcast archives, all with the new WMAL app.
Thank you.
Get the WMAL app today on Google Play or the Apple App Store, and stay connected.
Hey, I'm Reba McEntire. In life, you'll hear a lot of people tell you that you can do anything you want. I'm here to tell you that's true. Since I was a little girl, I dreamed of becoming a successful singer and entertainer. It took a lot of hard work, dedication, and perseverance to find my success, but it was worth it. I never gave up on my dreams. Remember, you can never have a dream come true until you've had a dream. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Making sense of your world on the go. Stream your favorite shows, get the day's top headlines, and access our podcast archives, all with the new WMAL app. This is for you. Get the WMAL app on Google Play or the Apple App Store, and stay connected. Illuminating the issues.
There's a whole lot missing here in this story, isn't there?
Every day.
Why are we the only ones reporting this?
News Talk 105.9. Making sense of the news.
Award-winning series from Imperative Entertainment, In the Red Clay.
Before it's all said and done, more than 50 people will be dead at the hands of one man alone. The most notorious man you've never heard of.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Making sense of your world.
I agree with everything you're saying.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
My heart just breaks for what's going on.
Making sense of the news. WMAL's Vince Colonnese. Weekdays at noon on 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Mark Levin, an unapologetic patriot and unapologetic constitutionalist. You can reach him at 877-381-3811.
This is where America's patriots meet every single evening right here on the Mark Levin Show. We give no apologies for our beliefs. We stand on principle. We back those who are courageous and heroic in advancing those principles, and we expose those who do not. Here we go again. 15 states sue over Donald Trump's move to fast-track oil and gas projects via his energy emergencies, writes the Associated Press. And there will be a judge somewhere who will now block energy independence. I've had about enough of this damn crap. It's about time Hollywood John Roberts stepped up to the plate, because if he doesn't, the action will be in the Congress, and it'll be very difficult. But at some point, someday, some way, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's a year from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, the American people will defy the courts, because the courts will be illegitimate. That's what's going to happen. It won't be your honor. It won't be there's a court order. Americans will defy the courts because they will not respect lawlessness and the rogue activities of radical judges. I've always said, I even wrote it in Men in Black many, many years ago, if the judges aren't going to abide by the Constitution and the law, why should the people abide by their decisions and their orders? And that will become the rallying cry of tens of millions of people. When courts are lawless, lawlessness follows. And that's what's taking place in our country. We had an election. These judges attacking Donald Trump, these Democrat attorneys general, these public union boss thugs, all these miscreants and malcontents with law degrees. The fact of the matter is that they are stealing your franchise, your vote. They want illegal aliens to vote. They want dead people to vote. They want people to vote twice, 3 times, as long as they vote Democrat. They don't believe in voter identification for federal elections. Remember, some judge blocked that. But when it comes to you and me, they're more than happy to deny us our vote by intentionally trying to sabotage a duly elected president who won by a landslide. Do you know now the number is 220 lawsuits brought against Donald Trump to prevent his agenda? And he's lost 144 of them. Did you know that, Mr. Producer? Not because he's lawless, not because he's a dictator, because they're lawless and they're despots. That's why. And so here we go again. A coalition of 15 states, no doubt Democrat hacks, is suing over President Trump's efforts to fast-track energy-related projects, saying the administration is bypassing environmental protection laws and threatening endangered species, critical habitat, and cultural resources. No, he's not. Just because you're using fast-track methodology doesn't mean you're destroying anything. But you need to understand the Democrat Party, if they had their way, you'd freeze during the winter and you'd sweat to death during the summer. They want to drive up the cost of fuel, and they succeeded. Donald Trump wants to drive it down. And then they'll come out and they'll say, what is Donald Trump done about the price of fuel? While they're driving it up. Trump issued an executive order declaring a national energy emergency on the first day of his presidency. The order urges oil and gas expansion through federal use of eminent domain, the Defense Production Act, which allows the government to use private land and resources to produce goods deemed to be a national necessity. I'd say that's right, wouldn't you, America? But now Washington State Attorney General Nick Brown, Putz, and other plaintiffs said agencies like the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, the Department of Interior, are bypassing required reviews under federal laws like the Clean Water Act and the Endangered Species Act. So this is about sabotage and obstruction. Sabotage and obstruction. The executive order is unlawful. It commands that federal agencies disregard the law and in many cases their own regulation. Ladies and gentlemen, the fact of the matter is the Defense Production Act is a law. It's a law. Eminent domain is in the Constitution. And so how is Donald Trump being lawless? But the application is on an emergency. He's considered it an emergency, not some state smart-ass, candy-ass attorney general. Oh, we all got together, 15 states, 15 blue states, who will sue oil companies and others. They're purposely holding back fuel and driving up prices when it's they who are obstructing production. They are obstructing production. California Attorney General Rob Bonta, one of the ones leading the case. Yeah, we all want to have the California economy complete dead-end disaster. Attorneys General of Arizona, Democrat. Connecticut, Democrat. Illinois, Democrat. Massachusetts, Maine, Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, New Jersey, Oregon, Rhode Island, Vermont, Wisconsin have signed on. You know, I wish I could wave a magic wand. So these northern and northeastern states, in the heart of the winter, they wouldn't get their fuel. You win. We'll leave the fuel for the rest of the country. So Connecticut, Illinois, I know that's Midwest, but still, Massachusetts, Maine, Maryland, Minnesota, Michigan, Vermont, then go ahead and freeze to death. Keep electing Democrat attorneys general. This is what you get. It's grotesque. Is it not? Douglas Brinkley is a historian. How do you know? Because he says so. I've seen this guy on Fox, but he's a liberal. He's a kook, in my humble opinion. What do I know? So he's on the Morning Schmo show today, and he's talking about climate change. And the Pope, the new Pope, Leo the 14th, I believe it is. Leo the 14th. Listen to this. Listen to this idiot. Cut 9, go.
And one that I think is going to do a great job because Pope Leo the 14th was hand-chosen, in a sense, by Pope Francis.
And what he means by that is there's out of like 118 cardinals, give or take, Pope Francis picked like 100 of them. So there was never going to actually be a quote-unquote conservative or traditionalist cardinal because the vote was stacked. May I say that? It was. Go ahead.
Which doesn't get talked about climate change. I'll be interested. How do you think this Pope will look at climate? Because Pope Francis really got deep in that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't have to be a pope or a historian to know that climate change is a fiction. The way that it's applied by the Democrats. Climate change means more government, and you're to get poorer and more government control of your life. It's that simple. Now, if the climate's going to change or not, you would think theologians would understand this. It's out of our control. It's God. God. Not fossil fuels. You know, not methane from cattle. These idiots. That's right. God will make these determinations. It's just pathetic, these false idols these people create in climate change. This guy's supposed to be a historian, and he wants to know where the Pope stands, Pope Leo the 14th, on climate change. Now, I suspect we'll find out where the Pope stands on that. That's my guess. But I really do think theologians, whether they be Jewish or Christian or Muslim or whatever they're, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Talk about what you actually know something about, which is faith and family and life generally. Don't worry about climate change. You've got enough kooks doing that. Just because you're a priest or a rabbi or a pastor or the Pope, stay out of it because it's actually quite a stupid subject. We spent $1.2 trillion on the Inflation Reduction Act, which became the Climate Change Act, which became the massive Inflation Act. Mankind will never conquer the sun. I hate to tell you this. We'll never conquer nature. There is no mother nature. Nature could be a monster. Ask the people who suffer from earthquakes and tornadoes and hurricanes. Ask them about Mother Nature. No. And we're supposed to buy into this. This is just another way for the Marxists to change our country, destroy our culture, and steal your money. And of course, to centralize power and to control you. That's the bottom line. You can't build a house that size. Why? Climate change. What? You have to drive an electric vehicle. I know, but I live 400 miles away and it only goes through. Do it as I tell you. And they're cost prohibitive and there's no charging. Doesn't matter. Climate change. And you can't have a single family home. We need to have dense housing. What are you talking about? I like it. No, dense housing. Everybody in one place. Public transportation. That's right. Limited mobility. That's right. Vegetarians. Kill the cows. Too much methane. What? That's right. Battery operated warming socks. That's right. That will reduce the cost of energy in your home. You can wear a cap with a propeller when you get hot. Just spin the propeller. These East German morons. Well, that's what they think like, the Stasi, quite frankly. They apply to so many aspects of our life as far as I'm concerned. We'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news. Your phone has a lot of apps, but how many of them help you make sense of your world? The new WMAL app gives you the latest headlines, perspective from the voices you trust, and weather info to keep you in the know, all without having to remember yet another password.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Stream your favorite shows, get the day's top headlines, and access our podcast archives, all with the new WMAL app.
Thank you.
Get the WMAL app today on Google Play or the Apple App Store, and stay connected.
Former MLB All-Star Sean Casey, aka the Mayor, keeps hitting it out of the park.
Take my 30 years of experience. Take the wisdom and knowledge I've learned from the failures when I got sent down my rookie year, all the injuries I had to overcome. Your mind is the most important tool you have in life. Be relentless. Keep charging. It matters how you talk to yourself, how you look at the world. That matters. We talk about that. I don't know. I'm fired up. Baseball's back, and it's going to be incredible. I love it.
The Mayor's Office with Sean Casey from Believe.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform. When your business information is missing or inconsistent across the internet, search engines won't find you, and customers won't either. Help ensure customers see you and not your competitors. Boost your findability. CumulusBoost.com. CUMULUS Boost.com.
This is my new best friend, Esther. She might look like any normal, playful puppy, but Esther's being raised to become a canine companions for independence assistance dog for a person with a disability. To get there, she needs lots of loving care and attention, plenty of exercise, and good eating habits so that she can live a long and healthy life for her future family. Visit cci.org or call 1-800-572-BARK. Raise a puppy, change a life. You can make a world of difference in the life of a person with a disability.
We're the stronger than we look type.
I've had type 1 diabetes since I was 2.
The braver than you think type.
I have to take insulin shots every single day.
The type that will stop at nothing.
No more blood sugar tests.
Absolutely nothing.
No more complications.
Until type 1 becomes type none.
Support JDRF's life-changing research, and one day you'll say, I helped turn type 1 into type 9. Join us now at JDRF.
All I could think of is the time when Mary Bernie went to that woman's chat. She does karaoke. I forget the name of it. It might come to mind, but she went there to warn this person about Billy Hayden. I don't even know the person. Yeah, I don't sit in YouTube, look at live chats, and go to everybody's fucking live chat.
No dice. Give it a chance. Or just all text. You focus on the road. As a passenger, you have the power to prevent an accident. There are 1,000 ways to stop a distracted driver. Choose one.
This is what Wiggin wants. All right. Yeah.
I was on a routine patrol.
He wants me talking about him. because he doesn't like it when I tell the truth. Like I was live this morning from 9 to 11:30 or so.
Don't get suckered into the same old free.
He went live after I went off air. Well, you heard it. I fucking played his stream from today. He did that after I went off air. Mad because, hey, congratulations, Daughter of Truth. And click, you're part of Chat Friends Forever. Wiggin won't let me debate politics up on his panel. He shuts me down.
Unlimited talk, text, 15 gigs of data, more than you'll ever need, with mobile hotspot, all on one of America's most dependable 5G networks. Dial pound 250, say keyword Mark Levin, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will help you switch in as little as 10 minutes. That's pound 250, say Mark Levin, for your free Samsung Galaxy with qualifying plan from Pure Talk. Wireless by Americans, for Americans.
Making sense of your world.
I agree with you 100%.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
There's a lot of us out there
making sense of the news. WMAL, more than just politics, because laughter is the best medicine. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
How are you? It's Friday, so we put our foot down on the gas pedal. We don't kick up. I want to remind you two fantastic shows this week, and I hope you'll join us. If you can, I hope you've set your DVR now. Life, Liberty, and Levin, 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. Two fantastic shows. I hope you'll join us. I've told you who are on the show, right, Mr. Producer? You know who's on the show? Saturday is Elise Stefanik and Katie Pavlich, and they are fantastic. And Sunday, it's Cruz, Senator Cruz, and Secretary Duffy, who's got a lot to say. It's fantastic, as does Ted. So I would go ahead, if you're a Levinite, a patriot, and this is the sort of thing you enjoy, go ahead and set your DVR. Obviously, Sunday is Mother's Day. You can't be sure you'll be home in time, depending on where you live. And you want to take care of your mother or your wife or your grandmother, your daughter, and they deserve it very, very much. But go ahead and set your DVR. You could still catch it live, but just in case, that's actually what we do in our household, just so you know. I don't know what this turns out like until we see it. So again, I want to encourage you, set your DVR, whatever recording device you use, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Life, Liberty, and Levin on Fox, on Saturday and Sunday. Two tremendous shows. You're going to love it. Memorial Day is right around the corner, right? What will you be flying? A faded, flimsy, overseas-made flag with freight engines that you got from a warehouse or a box store? Or a durable, high-quality American flag that truly honors the day? Truly American, made in American by Americans. One that's hand-sewn right in Charleston, South Carolina by true patriots who love this country. That's right, not by the communist Chinese. Talking about Allegiance Flag Supply. They are unique. They are fantastic. It's a family business. Allegiance Flag Supply. I'll be flying my Allegiance flag. You still have time to get yours before Memorial Day, but time is running out. You know, the material they use for the flag itself is really substantive. It's very thick. It's going to last. The pole they use, all these subparts in the flag, much more complicated than you think, even though they look very simple. They are all sourced in America. The hardware is substantial. This is a real, fantastic American flag made like American flags should be made. By hand, not some assembly line, by hand. It's a great gift for a military member in your family, great gift for Father's Day, which is right around the corner, but Memorial Day. Memorial Day is really, to me, Flag Day. You're not going to find handcrafted Allegiance flags in big box stores. The only way you can get one is at showallegiance.com, promo code Levin. Showallegiance.com, promo code Levin. Right now, when you use promo code Levin, that's Levin, you'll get free shipping. So if you jump in now, make your order, get free shipping, it'll be there in time for Memorial Day. You're going to love this flag. I know you are. I have it. You're going to say, Mark, it's a flag. That's right. It's a flag you're really going to be proud of. Order yours today from Allegiance Flag Supply. May is their busiest month, so make sure you have yours in time. So where do you go? You go to showallegiance.com. Use promo code Levin for American flags made the American way in America by Americans. Again, showallegiance.com. That's the site, showallegiance.com. Here's the promo code to get free shipping. Levin, simple, Levin, Levin. And you're going to enjoy this flag. Your whole family will. Get one for yourself. You can get one as a gift. But either way, you really should get one for yourself and put it up there outside, because there's just too many attacks on our flags and on our country these days. That is showallegiance.com, promo code Levin. So here's Douglas Brinkley and climate change. Climate change. I want to know where the Pope stands on climate change. He should be banned. He's such an idiot. He's a strange one, isn't he? He's not the only strange one. You know, he's talking about the new Pope Leo the 14th. Well, here's Pelosi with Politico yesterday, also related to the new Pope, Pope Leo the 14th. By the way, did you know he's the only American Pope in the history of the Catholic Church, Mr. Producer? I didn't know that either. I think I heard that 4 billion times. But nonetheless, here's Cut 8. Go.
But the role of women, I mean, remember this. These priests, and that's why the cardinals, the bishops, the rest of them, although we don't have shared, I mean, I'm excommunicated, so what should I be saying? I'm excommunicated. But I did receive communion at the Vatican when Pope Francis was right there in the next pew. So
that's a good sign.
That was a good sign. It was that was a message to my own Archbishop.
So she is a radical extremist kook when it comes to abortion. She's never seen a baby in the womb that she has loved. That's the facts. That's the facts. They run on this. They run on it incessantly. They scare everybody. They fearmonger. They lie. They cheat. They steal. Doesn't matter. This is their issue. Because they know, what I wrote about in American Marxism, which is their biggest demographic. It's not blacks and Hispanics. It's not gays and LGBTQ. It is single, white, unmarried women. That's their biggest demographic. And even within that demographic, from the age of in the low 20s into the mid 30s, that is their focus. And if it means aborting 800,000 babies a year, so be it. So the church said, no, you're out. You're out. We can't do that. You're out. Excommunicate. And she laughs about it. But that's progress. You see, that's progress. You know, you got communion. That was progress. How do you belong to a faith when you defy the faith in such a fundamental way and in such an extremist way? I don't get it. I really don't get it. I mean, the faith is supposed to change for her? No, I don't think so. The faith is supposed to change for the Democrat Party? No, I don't think so either. All right, we've got a lot going on next hour. Like this hour. We have our friend, the interim U.S. Attorney for New Jersey, Alina Habba, coming on. That debacle for the Democrats that occurred in Newark, but good for law enforcement and the rule of law. We'll be right back.
Making sense of your world.
Thank you for what you do.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
You give me hope.
Making sense of the news.
Blowing out your birthday candles should be easy, but if you have undiagnosed COPD, you may find yourself short of breath. Early diagnosis and treatment can add years to your life. If you have symptoms like wheezing or chronic cough, talk to your doctor and visit copdfoundation.org today.
Hi, I'm Vince Callahan, host of The Vince Show and Vince Podcast. It's a show with an obsessive focus on what's good for America. I'll give you the truth beneath the headlines of all of the nation's top stories. The Vince Show is redefining news talk with in-depth interviews, live caller interactions, and a front row seat to the most important conversations of the day, every day. The Vince Show and Vince Podcast.
WMAL's Vince Colonnese, weekdays at noon. News Talk 105.9. WMAL, making sense of the news.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is my new best friend, Esther. She might look like any normal, playful puppy, but Esther's being raised to become a canine companions for independence assistance dog for a person with a disability. To get there, she needs lots of loving care and attention, plenty of exercise, and good eating habits so that she can live a long and healthy life for her future family. Visit cci.org or call 1-800-572-BARK. Raise a puppy, change a life. You can make a world of difference in the life of a person with a disability.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 7. I'm Heather Curtis. As the legal battle over deportations continues, White House advisor Stephen Miller says the administration's looking for ways to expand its legal power to deport illegal immigrants.
Well, the Constitution is clear, and that, of course, is the supreme law of the land, that the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus can be suspended in a time of invasion. So it's an option we're actively looking at.
Habeas corpus gives people the right to challenge their detention in court. The Supreme Court ruled the Trump administration must give people who are set to be deported under the Alien Enemies Act a reasonable time to appeal. While many immigrants have already been deported without due process, it appears Henry Villatoro Santos will not be one of them.
He is an illegal alien from El Salvador, and he will not be living in our country much longer.
Attorney General Pam Bondi on the morning of Villatoro Santos's March arrest. At the time, he was alleged to be an East Coast leader of MS-13 and faced a gun charge. Now, according to the Prince William Times, ICE has him in removal proceedings. He's in a Virginia detention facility, but awaiting a June 3rd immigration status court date, a result of proper paperwork being filed in the correct location by his attorney, who in a statement to the paper says his client was treated by the government, quote, like a prop in a political publicity stunt. Scotland on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Going to an ATM may be safer now in Maryland. Attorney General Anthony Brown says 7 people have been indicted for their alleged involvement in a violent criminal network that ambushed people withdrawing money from ATMs in 5 counties.
These perpetrators methodically stalked individuals,
making cash withdrawals ranging from hundreds to thousands of dollars, says Brown.
These weren't merely robberies. The assailants brandished firearms and discharged weapons to terrorize their victims, making their intentions unmistakably clear: your money or your life.
Brown says they robbed, threatened, and beat people. The 7 now face charges, including attempted murder. A Woodbridge man has been charged with the reckless driving death of another driver earlier this month.
Police say 23-year-old Luis Araniba was speeding down Dale Boulevard in Dale City at more than 20 miles over the 45-mile-an-hour limit on May 1st when he smashed his car into another that was making a legal left turn in front of him. The crash killed a passenger in the turning car, 32-year-old Evangelina Castro, and injured the other car's driver. Araniba did remain at the scene and was not hurt, but after an investigation, Prince William County Police obtained an arrest warrant Thursday and charged Araniba with involuntary manslaughter. He's being held without bond. John Matthews on WMAL and WMAL.com.
A 70-year-old Harwood, Maryland man charged with animal cruelty after Anne Arundel County Police say he fatally shot a dog. In April, a woman reported her Belgian Malinois named Maisie had gone missing. She told police she believed Maisie was shot. Police say the investigation revealed Robert Harley was the one who shot the dog. They haven't found Maisie's remains and are hoping someone can provide a tip that will lead them to them. Local Catholic leaders are hoping the enthusiasm over the first American Pope will attract more people to the church. Monsignor Paul Delarante with the Catholic Diocese of Arlington tells WMAL's O'Connor and Company the mission of the church is to evangelize.
That's what we're trying to do, locally here in Arlington and in the Washington metro area. So I would hope and pray that there would be that resurgence of interest and the numbers of the faithful would grow.
Up next, traffic and weather.
Hackers don't need much. Just one leaked password can potentially unlock a treasure trove of personal information, leading to stress, pain, and permanently wrecked credit. Don't be an easy target. Get protection by Aura today. Aura protects your identity, finances, and family, all in one powerful app. Get real-time alerts, safeguard your accounts, and block scams before they happen. If identity theft strikes, we help you recover. Stay protected at aura.com/stream. That's AURA.com/stream.
Making sense of your world.
Common sense. Let's get back to common sense.
WMAL's Vince Colonnese, weekdays at noon.
Now that should give you a lot of cause for hope.
News Talk 105.9. WMAL, making sense of the news.
Every 15 seconds, someone is diagnosed with cancer. If it's happened to you or someone you love, the American Cancer Society can help at every step of the journey. Visit cancer.org today.
Here's Carlos Ramirez in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
Got some good news. Looks like the crash near Montrose Road has officially been moved over to the shoulder. Still got the delays, though. Slow back towards Old Georgetown Road, and the inner loop of the Beltway still jammed up from the Dulles Toll Road up onto the 270 spur. Inner loop, the crash near Landover Road cleared, but you got some delays back towards 50. Northern southbound BW Parkway slow towards the Beltway. Southbound DC 295 slow from 50 towards East Capitol Street, and inbound 395 jammed from the Pentagon to the 3rd Street Tunnel. Outer loop slow from Van Dorn Street to the Wilson Bridge, and southbound 95 slow from the Fairfax County Parkway to 123. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Our skies are clearing. Temperatures, though, will drop from the 60s to the 50s this evening. By morning, a cool start at 42 to 49 degrees, but a spectacular Saturday with low humidity. Temperatures from 73 to 78 degrees, lots of sunshine. 7 News Chief Meteorologist Veronica Johnson in the First Alert Weather Center.
Right now, 62 degrees in Washington. I'm Heather Curtis on WMAL.
He's here. Now broadcasting from the underground command post, deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker, somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with our leader, Mark Levin.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Our number 877-381-381, 1-877-381-381. Well, let me be the first to say Happy Mother's Day. So I don't forget, by the end of the show, we won't be on radio on Sunday. And I want to wish you all the very, very best. I love Mother's Day. To honor our mothers and our wives, and mothers-in-law, and whoever else is in your life. I love it. Because they deserve it. I've been surrounded by beautiful, strong women my entire life. And honestly, they've helped me become what I am. Some of you say, big fat bastard. No, seriously. Always supportive. Always motivated. Always. That's May 11th. Also on May 11th is the birthday of our son, Chase. He's a wonderful young man. And we're just very, very proud of him. We love him very much. And so I want to wish him on the radio, happy birthday. Time flies, man. I'll tell you what. Time flies. And the older you get, the faster it flies. Just the way it is. Now, here's the thing about Donald Trump. He's a historic figure. He's an iconic figure. That's what he is. Whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, most of you do. We have presidents who are milquetoast. They are basically bookmarks. We have presidents who are awful, and then we have presidents who are consequential. Not a lot, but some. Donald Trump is and wants to be a consequential president. Now, what do I mean by that? I'll give you a perfect example. Here's Reuters. A few hours ago, U.S. officials are discussing a plan to pull Greenland into America's sphere of influence using a type of agreement the United States has used to keep close ties with several Pacific Island nations, according to 2 U.S. officials and another person familiar with discussions. Under the plan being considered, the Trump administration would propose to Greenland's leaders that the island enter into a so-called Compact of Free Association, or COFA, with the United States. Now, what is that? Now, the precise details of such agreements, which have only ever been extended to the small island nations of Micronesia, the Marshall Islands, and Palau, vary depending on the signatory. The U.S. government typically provides many essential services, from mail delivery to emergency management to military protection. In exchange, the U.S. military operates freely in COFA countries, and trade with the U.S. is largely duty-free. Now, I don't know who came up with this, but this is genius. Absolutely brilliant. And I guarantee you, it's Trump who's driving this, who's pushing this. But it's absolute genius. I want you to look at a map. You can pull it up on your laptop, on your iPhone, computer. Just pull it up, take a look at it, and you'll see how important Greenland is vis-a-vis the Arctic Circle. You'll see how massive it is. And Trump's thinking, okay, Putin and the Communist Chinese are building 10 military bases in the Arctic Circle. We have to offset that. How do we offset it? Greenland. Not only that, we don't want them to take over Greenland. So Greenland. Now, Norway doesn't want to give up Greenland. I think it's Norway, one of those little countries. And so this is a brilliant way to deal with this. You just get a signature from the leaders of Greenland. It's like the brilliant move in Ukraine. I don't believe we should. Oh, it's Denmark? What's the difference, Rich? Seriously. Denmark. All you Danes out there, I apologize. All you Norwegians out there, I apologize. All 17 of you. But nonetheless, just kidding. Relax. It's like Ukraine. I do think we should arm Ukraine. It's in our best national security interest. We've had this discussion before. I know many of you disagree with me. I don't quite understand this affection for Putin and Russia. And again, another country that says what it wants to do, but we pretend it's not saying what it wants to do. But that's not my point. This minerals deal with Ukraine is absolute genius. Genius. And for Ukraine to sign on it was very, very important, because you have, in effect, a national security protection, because the United States is going to invest tens of billions of dollars on these rare earth minerals, mining them, producing them, shipping them, and so forth. They're going to need an infrastructure, a road system. They're going to need supermarkets, housing, and all the rest. And so we will be integrated into Ukraine. It's absolute genius, while we benefit from the rare earth minerals we can't get anywhere else in the world. And we need. And we need. I'm surprised the fifth column isolationists aren't jumping up and down as they always do. But they're irrelevant. That's why they're jumping up and down. So that's brilliant. I think. So here we have this plan. While the precise details of the agreement are not known, who cares? President Donald Trump, during his first administration, floated the idea of acquiring Greenland. It's pressed even harder since taking office in January, refusing to rule out taking the island by force. Let's see. The agreement would stop short of Trump's ambition to make the island of 57,000 people a part of the U.S. It's not the only Greenland plan on the table. The sources said it would face many practical hurdles. Reuters reported before Trump took office that some advisors had informally suggested the idea, but it has not been previously revealed. Some officials at the National Security Council and the National Energy Dominance Council, which Trump established, are involved in the talks, two of the sources said. The National Economic Council is also involved, said one of the sources. So that's tremendous. Now, this is what I mean about a consequential president. All the Republicans and Democrats in and around Washington, D.C., all the pundits, the usual faces, Rove, you know what I mean. What's he doing? He's out of his mind. We got other things to do. Consequential. He has consequential ideas. People analyze his first 100 days. I'm going to do this tomorrow night on Fox. And they'll go down the usual things. The border secure, the this, that's crucially important. But that's not why the first 100 days are a massive success. And I will explain this again. My Fox show tomorrow night, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Because he's a historic president. You're living through historic times with a consequential historic president. Doesn't always happen. It simply doesn't always happen. And, it takes history to look back. It takes history to look back and make these decisions and to look at these various things. Caroline Levitt today at the White House briefing. China needs our markets more than we need theirs. Cut 10, go.
So on those China talks, what does President Trump expect to come out of those talks? And is he going to be disappointed if his team can't secure a deal?
Well, look, the president is very confident in Secretary of Treasury Scott Bessent, and of course, Ambassador Jamieson Greer, who has played an instrumental role in all of these trade negotiations as well. I think yesterday's success, the announcement of a trade deal with the United Kingdom, is a great first step. Again, many said in this room it couldn't be done. Now we are moving forward with many other countries. We're talking to dozens of our trading partners around the world. But of course, China is a major country, a major player in this space. And the president has said, and he's right, China needs the United States of America. They need our markets. They need our consumer base. And Secretary Bessent knows that he's going to Switzerland this weekend with the full support and confidence and trust of the president here at home.
Mm-hmm. We'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news. Around the clock updates and uncommon understanding.
Listen to this, because this stuff is going on behind the scenes and you don't know about it.
News Talk 105.9, making sense of the news.
Every time I feel my baby kick, I sing. You don't understand. I never sing. I'm not good at singing. I'm the only person I know who's been booed off a karaoke stage. But that was before I was pregnant. Today, I'm a singer with a captive audience of one. She doesn't boo me. She never will.
We know how it feels. We're the March of Dimes. Find out how we can help you have a healthier baby at marchofdimesbaby.org.
Making sense of your money.
The state of the economy, the ability to afford your life. That's what people want.
WMAL's Vince Colonnese, weekdays at noon.
The kind of thing I pay attention to, I'm looking at.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
We're the stronger than we look type.
I've had type 1 diabetes since I was 2.
The braver than you think type.
I have to take insulin shots every single day.
The type that will stop at nothing.
No more blood sugar tests.
Absolutely nothing.
No more complications.
Until type 1 becomes type none.
Support JDRF's life-changing research, and one day you'll say, I helped turn type 1 into type none. Join us now at jdrf.org.
Nightly Scroll with Haley Karania.
I'm Haley Karania. I scroll with the homies here in the live chat, and I love my long scrolls on my phone at night. The show is literally called Nightly Scroll. My screen time has reached astronomical levels, but I do it to get all of the videos and all of the content that you won't find anywhere else. I don't want to be surrounded by an echo chamber, so I hope you join me. Someone just said the show is great. Keep it up. Thank you. I will.
Nightly Scroll with Haley Karania. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Hey, I'm Reba McEntire. In life, you'll hear a lot of people tell you that you can do anything you want. I'm here to tell you that's true. Since I was a little girl, I dreamed of becoming a successful singer and entertainer. It took a lot of hard work, dedication, and perseverance to find my success, but it was worth it. I never gave up on my dreams. Remember, you can never have a dream come true until you've had a dream. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-809-7171. 800-809-7171.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Making sense of your world.
I can't believe this.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
And I am so with you.
Making sense of the news. First thing each morning, O'Connor and Company with Larry O'Connor. Weekday mornings from 5 to 9 on WMAL.
We have our friend Alina Habba with us, fantastic lawyer. She's the interim U.S. Attorney for New Jersey. Hopefully she'll be the permanent U.S. Attorney for New Jersey. Alina Habba, you have you folks arrested the mayor of Newark because he broke the law. Now, I read this story, but can you explain to us what took place here?
Sure. Hey, Mark, how are you?
I'm great, thank you.
obviously-
Better now that you're the interim Attorney General or U.S. Attorney for New Jersey. Go ahead.
Obviously, I don't want to talk too much about details. We have open charges now, and you know the rules. So I'll just speak generally. He was warned several times. He was on federal property. He was told that he was going to be put under arrest if he didn't remove himself. He chose not to. And that's the truth. And for all the trolls out there, the reality is he doesn't have a right to be doing that. He's been speaking about it for days, holding protests for days. There's a line, Mark, right? Like you're not allowed to, and I've lived it. You're not allowed to target. You're not allowed to use things for political gain. He's obviously trying to use this as an example for what I'm not sure. We have a lot of real serious criminals in that facility, murderers, MS-13 gang members. The facility is, doing what they need to do, and this is a federal property, and you cannot obstruct justice, you can't trespass, you can't break the law, period, the end. If you break the law, I really don't care who you are. If it's in my state, if it's in any state, as per Pam Bondi, as per everybody in this administration, we will arrest you. That's just the way it's going to go. So it's unfortunate. I'm not proud of the fact that we had to do that, but I'm not afraid of it. The reality of the situation is, Mark, we have laws in this country, and laws cannot be violated. You cannot snub us. You can't have cameramen filming you and think you're going to intimidate us. You cannot trespass. You cannot be asked to remove yourself. You cannot obstruct justice. You cannot trespass. Many, many, many things that you cannot do that I will not stand for. And it's a strong message to anybody. I don't care who you are, what your politics are. If you break the law in the state of New Jersey, I will arrest you and I will charge you.
I mean, this is a federal facility. You've got real law enforcement taking place. You've got really dangerous people there. You've got a staff that could be endangered. And these clowns are trying to make a, political statement. He's running for governor. And as I read the article here, which seems pretty accurate, I think, he was asked to leave. He didn't leave. They said, you're under arrest. Then he leaves. And then they put the cuffs on him. Now he's acting like he's, he's Gandhi or something. So he says, I'm going to keep coming back and keep coming back. There's his state of mind right there. He's going to keep breaking the law.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear his intent. The reality of the situation is I wish he hadn't. I wish he hadn't done that. There's no joy in these kinds of behaviors. And at the end of the day, I will tell you this. I truly, truly do not enjoy any part of this. But I will say that I have a job. My job is to protect any of my federal law enforcement who are doing their job. And when you stop buses of people who are being put in, and we have, I don't know if you've seen the footage, Mark, but there is footage now that I've seen of the congresswoman and the congressman who are literally attacking my people and the ICE officials. It's not appropriate. It's not going to stand. And there's a point where we have to say that America deserves better. We just do. And that's the bottom line. You know it. I know it. We care about you most importantly, as you know, and congratulations, by the way, on your appointment.
Thank you.
You know, we care about one thing, and that's law and order. We care about the Constitution. We care about the foundation of this country. My job is to just enforce the law. And if you violate it, it will be enforced, period.
And they're endangering the community, and they're endangering the staff 100%. There too. You know, and what is it? He says, we want you to shut this down. I mean, what is that? The guy says,
you don't want
he's a mayor, for God's sake. What's that?
It's unbelievable because I'm not sure what they want. They want us to shut it down. They don't want us to have them, give them a facility where they can stay for them to have due process. They don't want us to put them on planes when they have an administrative warrant properly to be deported out of this country. They say that's not lawful either. So what is lawful exactly? And why are you protecting people that are raping and pillaging and causing mayhem in our community? I'm just not following, truly, anyone that stands behind crime in this country. Why? You know, it infuriates me. I am the daughter of immigrants. I understand immigration. I appreciate immigration into this country. I appreciate what this country does for immigrants that lawfully come into it. I do not understand support and obstruction. I do not understand crime. I do not understand trespass. And I will not stand for it for 1 minute.
And good for you. Because all this talk about due process, I don't remember all this talk about due process when they dragged Donald Trump through that Manhattan courtroom in one of the worst star chambers I've ever seen in my life. You know, this guy whining, he wanted to be arrested. He's been arrested. So what's he whining about? He says he's going to go back every other day after that. He's going to get arrested again. And his point is what exactly? What is his point? I really want to know. Shut down the detention center?
I'm really not sure. I'm not sure. I can tell you that we just follow the rules. You know, if you trespass, you'll be told you need to remove yourself. There will be many chances for you to do so. And if you choose not to do so, you're going to get arrested. It's really no different. I don't care who you are. It's not an identity thing. It's truly not. Anybody that does that will be arrested. The only individuals, you know, if you want to come in and investigate, you are a member of Congress and you have the right to do so. I respect that. We've opened the doors to those people, but that's why they were not arrested. So, you know, it's very simple. You break the law, you'll go to jail. That's just as simple as it gets.
You know, Alina, not in your jurisdiction, and you watch this Letitia James. While she's going after Donald Trump for fraud that never occurred under a statute that was never used, the woman's ripping off the taxpayers, essentially. I mean, her residence is in Northern Virginia. Her father is her husband. A brownstone in Brooklyn has 4 units when it has 5. And she's running around going on about how this is just in order to get her. You know, my experience is this is the easiest kind of prosecution when somebody signs their name to a flat out lie that's physically provable as a flat out lie. No?
I'm going to defer to the public record on that. It's all public. They're public documents. I'm going to say one thing. No one is above the law. No one is above the law. I'll say one
other thing, and you can't say it. I want people to know. They got to get like a XXX or quadruple X orange suit ready for her. That's what I'll say. All right, my friend, keep up the great work. We're going to keep an eye on this one. You take care of yourself.
Thank you, Mark. You
All right,
too.
God bless. God bless. She's good. What is that, Rich? I missed it. Okay. No, she's good. That's very important. She's very proper and ethical. She's right. She can't get into all this stuff while she is a public official prosecuting people. She said she doesn't enjoy what happened to this mayor. I get it. I do enjoy it. Does it make me sick, Mr. Producer? I enjoy it. When these Democrat hacks do the things they do, disrupt federal law enforcement or any law enforcement, trying to get campaign photos, the clown's running for governor. Apparently he's in the lead, for God's sakes. Let him do a little bit of time. I bet he doesn't spend much time at all. Much time at all in jail. Fingerprint him. He'll be out. Back tomorrow. We'll be right back. My friends, you've worked hard your whole life. You've paid your taxes, raised your families, played by the rules. But now you're looking around and wondering, what happened to the country I love? Here's the good news. You're not alone. Millions of patriotic Americans over 50 feel exactly the same way, and they're taking a stand. Taking a stand to bring fairness back, to root out waste and fraud, and proudly standing for our Judeo-Christian values. But you can't do it alone. That's where the Association of Mature American Citizens come in. AMAC is the senior organization that actually aligns with your values, faith, freedom, and common sense. Just $16 a year. Just $16 a year? Wow. You'll join a nationwide movement, and you'll get a subscription to the AMAC magazine, the best of the best. Plus access to money-saving discounts and benefits on things you already use and need. Join now at amac.us/Levin. That's amac.us/LEVIN. You've done your part for this country. Now let the Association of Mature American Citizens do their part for you.
WMAL traffic this update. Struggling with delays in the DMV. This update, Landover's got an accident reported on the inner loop of the Beltway before Landover Roads 202 at exit 17. Light but jammed traffic's got the left lane blocked, and that overflow runs as far back as Route 50's exit 19 with light traffic delays. And this hour, Riverdale is below speed on the BW Parkway northbound between 410 and the Capitol Beltway. I'm Dr. Gavin Montgomery, now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Tonight, clearing, lows in the upper 40s. Tomorrow, sunny, breezy, and warmer with highs in the 70s.
Your phone has a lot of apps, but how many of them help you make sense of your world? The new WMAL app gives you the latest headlines, perspective from the voices you trust, and weather info to keep you in the know, all without having to remember yet another password.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Stream your favorite shows, get the day's top headlines, and access our podcast archives, all with the new WMAL app.
Thank you.
Get the WMAL app today on Google Play or the Apple App Store, and stay connected. Making sense of the media.
The news media is attacking him because this is what happens when you're a Republican.
Chris Plant, weekdays 9 to noon.
Yeah, our news media, really.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
What would you give for a child you loved? To make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. You see, wishes are so powerful, and you can make them real. You can give a child back their childhood, even change the way they feel. Every single one of us can make the stars align. Because when we come together, hope and joy will shine. Wishes need stars like you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Garland Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hey there, I'm Paula Penn, host of the Afford Anything podcast. I help people make the smartest money decisions possible.
You should not do the 401k loan.
Reason number 4,872. Are we heading for a recession?
You'd be shocked.
Dumping it into the house?
Invest in flipping houses.
Mathematically the better option.
Paula Pants really keeping us in business.
Because face it, money's too important to wing it. Review your budget.
Take the reins.
Sharpen your skills.
Do the thing.
Start a side hustle.
That will affect your life.
Right. Afford Anything. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Making sense of your world.
This is no conspiracy theory. This is a fact. Here it is.
Mark Levin, weekdays 6 to 9 p.m.
Listen to this, would you?
News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Every time I feel my baby kick, I sing. You don't understand. I never sing. I'm not good at singing. I'm the only person I know who's been booed off a karaoke stage. But that was before I was pregnant. Today, I'm a singer with a captive audience of one. She doesn't boo me. She never will. We know how it feels. We're the March of Dimes. Find out how we can help you have a healthier baby at marchofdimesbaby.org.
Inside the biggest stories in music, it's Rolling Stone Music Now.
Rolling Stone recently ran a great cover story on Chapel Roan.
And of course, when she did eventually find her voice, it was just a little too late.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Making sense of your world.
Talk radio is where I get all of my information.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news. WMAL. Making sense of education, because what's happening in your kid's school matters. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
This is the nation's town hall meeting, and you can join in at 877-381-3811.
This show is half over. Half over. I've only just begun. Here we be. Here we're at. You don't end a sentence in preposition. Do you know that? Were you taught that, Mr. Producer? How many people do I say, where you at? No, where are you? Where you at? No, where are you? I'm right here. Where you at? No, where are you? You know, like Abbott and Costello. You folks work hard. You play by the rules. You pay your taxes. It's hard to make ends meet. Then you try and save some money for your retirement, maybe for other things. Now, you want to help preserve what you have. You're not sure what to believe, who to believe, the Fed, Congress, what's going on. In fact, they talk about Wall Street. You have nothing to do with Wall Street. Now, most of you are not involved in international trade. You get products that are produced overseas or here, but you're not involved in trade per se. All these things swirling around. But you need to protect what you have. You need to protect what you have. Your finances, the wealth that you've accumulated. And you do it through diversification. You don't put all your money in one place. And diversification should include hard assets. For some people, it's real estate, this and that. What I'm talking about is gold. Gold, it's a proven store of value for thousands of years. And it adds strength and stability and security to your money. For example, your retirement, your 401k, your IRA, whatever you have. So with all the uncertainty out there, this is something real. Something real. There's no printing press for gold. Gold has nothing to do with paper. It's the real thing. And it is recognized in every corner of the earth and by every single government. Diversification and diversification with gold, that's the key. Now you can learn about it, learn how easy it is to move part of your IRA or 401k into real gold or silver by experienced individuals who have integrity, a top-rated service. That's our friends at Advantage Gold. You should check them out. They're there now. I know it's Friday evening, some places Friday night. It's okay. We're here. We're still plugging along, and so are they. Call now, 800-900-8000, 800-900-8000. You've worked hard. Protect what you have. Protect what you've earned. You be the boss. You make the decisions with a little bit of advice from our friends at Advantage Gold. They'll show you how to do it. 800-900-8000. Performance may vary, and you should always consult your financial and tax professional. Also, I want to remind you about this program. You can hear us anywhere. You can hear us on our fantastic affiliates. You can hear us on satellite, our fantastic Sirius XM satellite. You can hear us live stream. You can hear us on the Mark Levin app, on the iHeart app. You can also hear us on YouTube. We have our own YouTube channel. So let me tell you, when in doubt, you can go to Mark Levin Show in YouTube. It's that simple. 100% free. Mark Levin Show on YouTube. What is that? 2 or 3 clicks and you're there. Or you can go to the podcast platform. Mark Levin Show on your favorite podcast platform. Mark Levin Show on your favorite podcast platform. That way, no matter what, we're with you. We are with you. Morning, noon, and night. Is that right, Mr. Professor? Mr. Professor. You are Mr. Professor. Carolyn Levitt at the White House briefing today. She doesn't take any crap. I'll tell you that. She has to explain the role of the executive branch to a reporter. Cut 12, go.
Yesterday, the administration appears to have started dismantling the Consumer Product Safety Commission. This is the federal agency, an independent one that does recalls and is responsible for product safety. Does the administration not believe that it's important, to keep toys and cribs? I mean, you're a young mom off of the product of the market.
It's a federal agency within which branch? It's the executive branch. Who's the head of the executive branch? The President of the United States. He has the right to fire people within the executive branch. It's a pretty simple answer.
Now, as for those toys and cribs, I think they have been examined 1,000 times and 1,001 times. And where's this connection between reducing the staff there and toys and cribs? Is that what all the staff does? They're in charge of toys and cribs? I doubt that, Mr. Producer. For all we know, they're paper pushers. For all we know, they're doing something unrelated completely to toys and cribs. But she sounds like a Democrat, the reporter. So she's out there wanting you to think, despite hundreds of billions of dollars in debt, $250 billion every year, according to the GAO, $250 billion to $500 billion that just gets lost in the muck. That if you make any effort, let alone a significant effort, to trim the size of the government, to trim the size of the workforce, to trim the size of the debt, obviously our cribs and toys for our babies are going to be much more dangerous. You see, this is the game. Now, these clowns couldn't even get the FAA to work properly. And it's going to take Sean Duffy. This guy's unbelievable. Remember, he was a former district attorney. The guy's sharp as hell. And we're going to have him on Sunday's show. We're going to go through this stuff like no other host can. But he's sharp. He's grabbing this thing. He's wrestling it to the ground. So is the President of the United States. Great selection in Sean Duffy. The buck stops with Trump, and he's happy to take it. He's happy to take responsibility. Unlike Biden, the buck stopped with, the signature machine or Ernie Grabotsky down the hall or the wife or whatever. Trump takes charge. Sean Duffy's taking charge. He's spectacular. They're going to fix that system. Probably it'll take right up to the end of the administration or a year or two beyond. It is very complicated. It's very confounding to interlock all of this. It's going to take a lot of money, a lot of expertise, and a lot of time. Buttigieg wanted nothing to do with it. Biden wanted nothing to do with it. And then Schumer comes out with this ridiculous video. He puts it out saying, see this? Doge. Shut up, you stupid fool. That's what he is. Clown. Clown. My point being that just because cuts are made doesn't mean it's cuts that affect. And you'll find out when I interview him that none of the cuts they're making have anything to do with the FAA. In fact, they're hiring at the FAA. But it doesn't matter because the truth never seems to catch up with the Democrats in their propaganda media. Now, what about the librarian of Congress? You see, you're not allowed to remove Democrats and you're not allowed to remove bureaucrats. Now, if you're fired in the private sector, you have to shutter your business because the CDC said that the pandemic is this or that. That's it. That's righteous. That's patriotic. But don't touch the government, period, because that is the power source of the Democrat Party. They've built the bureaucracy with the help of some wayward Republicans. They've built the regulatory state, excuse me, and they don't want you to touch it. They don't care if 25% of it is wasted. They don't care if people are lining their pockets. It's a power thing, not an ethics thing, not a mathematical thing, not a fraud thing, a power thing for them. Cut 13, go.
Question, the president fired the Librarian of Congress. Why do you choose to do that?
We felt she did not fit the needs of the American people. There were quite concerning things that she had done at the Library of Congress in the pursuit of DEI and putting inappropriate books in the library for children. And we don't believe that she was serving the interests of the American taxpayer well. So she has been removed from her position, and the president is well within his rights to do that.
Yes, he is. No, you can't remove her. Why? These things have never been done before. This is how the Democrats squirrel their way, secrete their way into the bureaucracy. Now, Newark, cut 14, Caroline Levitt, go.
I want to add that this outage at Newark Airport speaks to why the Secretary of Transportation yesterday made a massive announcement in investing in our aviation safety and our telecom system. There's a 4-part infrastructure plan that was released by the Secretary of Transportation yesterday to improve communication, surveillance, automation, and their facilities. They want to replace the antiquated telecom systems with new fiber, wireless, and satellite technologies, replace more than 600 radars, which have gone way past their life cycle, and address runway safety. They want to build 6 new air traffic control centers for the first time since the 1960s and replace towers as well. They want to implement new modern hardware and software for all traffic facilities to create a common platform system throughout the towers. These are much needed changes. This is a very bold plan by the Department of Transportation. I think it's unfortunate that the previous administration sat on their hands and did nothing, but how grateful we are that we have a Department of Transportation and a secretary and a president who's willing to take bold action and change.
Let me tell you something. This is every bit as big as the interstate highway system when they tackled that, or stringing up telephone lines. This is a massive undertaking to ensure that we have a modern air traffic control system for our air traffic and airline system. This is a massive undertaking. And it is as big as everything I just said. I mean, it is daunting. And yet when I talk to Sean Duffy, the guy's full of energy. He's motivated. He's positive. He said, this is what I'm here for. You're going to see. It's incredible. The guy's incredible. I'm very impressed with him. I think the first and last time I had interviewed him when he was a district attorney running for Congress. Remember that way back when, Mr. Producer? Way back when. And we endorsed him, of course. But he's turned out to be terrific, quite frankly. We'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Hey there, I'm Paula Pant, host of the Afford Anything podcast. I help people make the smartest money decisions possible.
You should not do the 401k loan.
Reason number 4,872. Are we heading for a recession?
You'd be shocked.
Dumping it into the house?
Invest in flipping houses.
Mathematically the better option.
Paula Pant's really keeping us in business.
Because face it, money's too important to wing it. Review your budget.
Take the reins.
Sharpen your skills.
Do the thing.
Start a side hustle
that will affect your life.
Right. Afford Anything. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
When your business information is missing or inconsistent across the internet, search engines won't find you, and customers won't either. Help ensure customers see you and not your competitors. Boost your findability. CumulusBoost.com. CUMULUS Boost.com.
Around the clock updates and uncommon understanding.
Listen to this, because this stuff is going on behind the scenes and you don't know about it.
News Talk 105.9. Making sense of the news.
Hi, I'm Vince Callanes, host of The Vince Show and Vince Podcast. It's a show with an obsessive focus on what's good for America. I'll give you the truth beneath the headlines of all of the nation's top stories. The Vince Show is redefining news talk with in-depth interviews, live caller interactions, and a front row seat to the most important conversations of the day, every day. The Vince Show and Vince Podcast.
WMAL's Vince Callanes, weekdays at noon. News Talk 105.9. WMAL, making sense of the news. Making sense of the headlines, making sense of your world. WMAL's Vince Colonnades.
Thank you for all you do on the radio show.
What a nice call. Thank you very much.
Weekdays, noon to 3. News Talk 105.9. WMAL. Making sense of the news. Making sense of your world.
Common sense. Let's get back to common sense.
WMAL's Vince Colonnades. Weekdays at noon.
Now that should give you a lot of cause for hope.
News Talk 105.9. WMAL. Making sense of the news.
While serving in Iraq, our vehicle was hit. They didn't think I was going to make it. I'm Latoya Lucas, and I'm a veteran. I had to learn to live with the scars, both visible and invisible.
DAV helps veterans like Latoya get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year.
My victory is overcoming my wounds so I can help other veterans.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
For a local news source you can trust, visit WMAL.com.
Thank God for that.
Get the day's top stories, stream your favorite WMAL shows, access our podcast archives, and more. WMAL.com. Making sense of your world online. Making sense of the media.
The news media is attacking him because this is what happens when you're a Republican.
Chris Plant. Weekdays 9 to noon.
Yeah, our news media, really.
News Talk 105.9. WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Memorial Day is almost here. What will you be flying? A faded, flimsy, overseas-made flag with frayed edges, or adorable, high-quality American flag that is truly built to honor our nation and the people who fought for it? One that was hand-sewn right in Charleston, South Carolina, by patriots who love this country? Now, I'm talking about Allegiance flag supplied. And I'll be flying my Allegiance flag. You still have time to get yours before Memorial Day. This is truly a flag to be revered, a flag you could be proud of. It's also a great gift for the military member in your family, a great Father's Day gift, which is right around the corner. You're not going to find handcrafted Allegiance flags in these big box stores. The only way you can get one is at showallegiance.com. And right now, when you use promo code Levin, you'll get free shipping. So order yours today from Allegiance Flag Supply. May is their busiest month, so make sure you have yours in time. That's Allegiance Flag Supply, promo code Levin, Allegiance Flag Supply, promo code LEVIN. For American flags, made by Americans, for Americans.
Making sense of your world.
Thank you for your clear insight.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
This is a major wake-up call.
Making sense of the news. WMAL. Making sense of the forecast. Because you never know what Mother Nature has in store. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
All right. I love Christians United for Israel. I love the group. It's been in existence for 20 years. I love the family that founded it, organized it, and leads it. Pastor John Hagee, his wife Diana, his daughter Sandy, other family members, they are fantastic. We love these people. They are our dear friends. And we spent last week in Israel with them. With them. The Middle Eastern landscape is reshaping before our eyes. Blink and you'll miss something. As people try to modify maps and redraw lines, history is unfolding at this very moment. The nation of Israel, our Holy Land, stands naturally at the center of these groundbreaking events. Many believe that what happens in the Middle East has never been more important, never more filled with potential and fraught with peril. Many also believe that Israel's enemies are America's enemies. I'm one of them who certainly believes that. Christians United for Israel, CUFI, Christians United for Israel, one of America's largest pro-Israel organizations, is leading the charge to help keep Americans on Israel's side. It's sad, but it needs to be done. This summer, join thousands of us, thousands of pro-Israel Americans at the 20th Annual Christians United for Israel Washington Summit, June 29th through July 1st. June 29th through July 1st. I will be there. My family will be there. And I'm very excited about it. And I'm very excited about meeting as many of you as possible. Like minds, our morals, our values, we share the same thing. We share the same God. And while you're there, learn from leading Middle East experts. Make your voice heard. Don't be a bystander to history. Jump in with the rest of us, thousands of us. Register for the 20th annual CUFI, Christians United for Israel, Washington Summit. Register right now. CUFI.org, C-U-F-I, Christians United for Israel. That's CUFI.org. Make sure you use promo code LEVIN25. That's LEVIN25, L-E-V-I-N 25. That's CUFI, C-U-F-I.org. Promo code LEVIN25, L-E-V-I-N 25. You should come. You should bring your kids, bring your grandkids. It's for the family. It's for patriotic, God-believing Americans. Be part of this grassroots movement that is at the forefront of history, America. CUFI. I've never been so proud to be associated with an organization. Christians United for Israel. And they'll have Christians there. They'll have Jews there. They'll have people of no faith, people of other faiths, but they understand what's at stake. I've tried to make it clear to people who listen to this radio program and my television program that there are millions and millions of us. Millions and millions of us who hate Hamas because we know what they are, we know what they did. Who hate Qatar because they know they funded October 7th. They have funded terrorism. They've made alliance with the Taliban, which has killed American and wounded American soldiers. They're allied with Iran. And they're pouring billions into our country for Islamists to try and overthrow our country. I don't care if they smile. I don't care if they go into other business. I don't care. They are what they are. They've been exposed by, among others, me and Memory and some of the great groups that do the research. We despise Saudi Arabia until they come clean on 9/11. There's been enough information put out that makes it clear that they were behind Al-Qaeda. We don't even get an apology. I don't give a damn if they're part of the Abraham Accords or not. That's my own opinion. And I'll say this to people in government. You want to use the language of the Jew haters? You want to use the language of the America haters with neocon, which is a pejorative, or warmonger? You should be coming to our event in Washington, Christians United for Israel. And you tell those thousands and thousands of God-believing, Trump-supporting individuals that they're neocons, that they're warmongers. I dare you. I dare you. I'll introduce you myself. But you won't, because you're cowards. You do your little friendly interviews with your little hatchet men and hatchet women. You talk their talk. Yeah. Notice how they trash you and me, but they don't trash Iran. They dare not say a negative slogan or name for Iran. They don't call them the Islamist Nazis that they are. But you and I, we're warmongers and neocons who won war. Because you and I haven't done enough to push back, to make them pay a political price. We're not going to sit still for this anymore. No, we're not. You want to call us names? You want to use slogans? There's a price to pay, a political and public affairs price to pay for this crap. We've had nothing but class. We've argued the issues. We've provided the substance. That's what we've done. But we will not be bullied. We will not be threatened. We will not be labeled. And we will not be pushed around. Not by anybody. I'll be right back.
Making sense of your world.
Thanks for taking my call.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Greatly appreciated.
Making sense of the news. Making sense of your world.
This is no conspiracy theory. This is a fact. Here it is.
Mark Levin, weekdays 6 to 9 p.m.
Listen to this, would you?
News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
75 years of research. 75 years of policy.
75 years of opportunity.
75 years of freedom.
This is 75 years of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. Join us at mda75.org.
Making sense of your money.
The state of the economy, the ability to afford your life. That's what people want.
WMAL's Vince Colonnese, weekdays at noon.
The kind of thing I pay attention to, I'm looking at.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Real stories about real people on the Sean Ryan Show.
John Shrek McPhee, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you.
Been a long time coming, huh?
I thought I should have been the first guest.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Making sense of your world on the go. Stream your favorite shows, get the day's top headlines, and access our podcast archives, all with the new WMAL app.
This is for you.
Get the WMAL app on Google Play or the Apple App Store and stay connected.
Bright Focus Foundation's Alzheimer's Disease Research Program is paving the way for a cure. Learn about symptoms, diagnosis, and breakthrough research at brightfocus.org or call us at 1-855-345-6237 for free resources.
Making sense of the border.
Homeland security is right there at the tippy top of American concerns.
WMAL's Vince Colonnese, weekdays at noon.
You've got to be tough.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Hackers don't need much. Just one leaked password can potentially unlock a treasure trove of personal information, leading to stress, pain, and permanently wreck credit. Don't be an easy target. Get protection by Aura today. Aura protects your identity, finances, and family, all in one powerful app. Get real-time alerts, safeguard your accounts, and block scams before they happen. If identity theft strikes, we help you recover. Stay protected at aura.com/stream. That's AURA.com/stream.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
At Newark Airport. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. For the second time in 2 weeks, air traffic controllers lost the ability to see where the jets were for about 90 seconds.
Radar screens temporarily went black in Newark, New Jersey, after a Philadelphia control center that handles airspace for the region lost communications. The morning's outage underscoring mounting concerns about the nation's outdated air traffic control system. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy calling for an overhaul, revealing antiquated equipment. He says air traffic control still uses the FAA's plan, includes replacing old telecommunications technology at more than 4,600 sites, replacing more than 600 radars, building 6 air traffic control centers, and adding more than 170 new weather stations.
Fox Business's Lydia Hu at Newark Airport. The incident is similar to what happened April 28th. That first incident led to hundreds of flights being canceled or delayed after the FAA slowed down traffic to ensure safety. ICE Deputy Director Madison Sheehan reacting after the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, was arrested at a migrant detention facility in his city while he and other members of Congress were protesting.
They put our ICE agents in danger and caused unneeded protests at a facility that meets the standard of ICE on a daily basis.
Mayor Ross Baraka, who was released a short time ago, claims the building does not have a certificate of occupancy and should not be open. Sheehan told Fox's Laura Ingram that's not true. In addition, 2 female members of Congress claim they were assaulted by ICE agents when they went into the facility to inspect the conditions. The Department of Homeland Security says protesters, including the members of Congress, ran into the facility when the gates opened to allow a bus carrying migrants to come in. America is listening to Fox News.
Arrest in toddler murder. I'm Sharon Reardon from the Novak Motors News Desk. Good evening. Nearly 8 months after a 1-year-old was found dead in a Connecticut Avenue Northwest apartment, police arrested 24-year-old Wayne Blake yesterday on charges including first-degree murder and cruelty to children. D.C. police were called to the residence last September, responding to a report of a child in cardiac arrest. Journey Moore was taken to the hospital and pronounced dead. The medical examiner determined her death was a homicide. The relationship between the toddler and Blake remains unclear. While many immigrants have already been deported without due process, it appears Henry Villatoro Santos won't be one of them.
He is an illegal alien from El Salvador, and he will not be living in our country much longer.
Attorney General Pam Bondi on the morning of Villatoro Santos's March arrest. At the time, he was alleged to be an East Coast leader of MS-13 and faced a gun charge. Now, according to the Prince William Times, ICE has him in removal proceedings. He's in a Virginia detention facility, but awaiting a June 3rd immigration status court date, a result of proper paperwork being filed in the correct location by his attorney, who says his client was treated by the government, quote, like a prop in a political publicity stunt. Scotland on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Meantime, the Trump administration is flying dozens of white South Africans into D.C. on Monday.
President Trump signed an executive order allowing some Afrikaners into the U.S. in response to a new South African law criticized by Elon Musk that would strip some of them of their property.
What's happening in South Africa fits the textbook definition of why the refugee program was created.
White House advisor Stephen Miller says it's
persecution based on a protected characteristic, in this case, race.
Senator Chris Van Hollen slamming the move, saying they're giving refugee status to people who don't need it while deporting people who face genuine dangers in other countries. Heather Curtis on WMAL and WMAL.com.
WMAL News Time is 8:04. I'm Sharon Reardon, and now here's your WMAL traffic and weather from the Hadid Carpet Clean Traffic Center.
Montgomery County, inside this WMAL traffic report, struggling with word of an accident northbound on 270 before Montrose Road's exit 4. It's got two right lanes blocked, adding excessively slowing down traffic as far back as Old Georgetown Road's exit 1, adding more than a half hour to that northbound press through Rockville. Lorton's got the off-ramp blocked with an accident, 95 northbound at the off-ramp to Lorton. That is according to VDOT. I'm Dr. Gavin Montgomery. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Tonight, clearing, lows in the upper 40s. Tomorrow, sunny, breezy, and warmer with highs in the 70s.
Hackers don't need much. Just one leaked password can potentially unlock a treasure trove of personal information, leading to stress, pain, and permanently wreck credit. Don't be an easy target. Get protection by Aura today. Aura protects your identity, finances, and family, all in one powerful app. Get real-time alerts, safeguard your accounts, and block scams before they happen. If identity theft strikes, we help you recover. Stay protected at aura.com/stream. That's AURA.com/stream.
Pay rent with Built to earn flexible transferable points and unlock exclusive benefits. There's no cost to join, and just by paying rent, you unlock flexible points that can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, a future rent payment, your next Lyft ride, and more. When you pay rent through Built, you unlock two powerful benefits. First, you earn one of the industry's most valuable points on rent every month. No matter where you live or who your landlord is, your rent now works for you. Second, you gain access to exclusive neighborhood benefits in your city. Built's neighborhood benefits are things like extra points on dining out, complimentary post-workout shakes, free mats or towels at your favorite fitness studios, and unique experiences that only Built members can access. And when you're ready to travel, Built points can be converted to your favorite miles and hotel points around the world, meaning your rent can literally take you places. So if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, what are you waiting for? Start paying rent through Built and take advantage of your neighborhood benefits by going to joinbuilt.com/WWO. That's JOINBILT.com/WWO. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. Joinbuilt.com/WWO to sign up for Built today.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Mark Levin.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Our number, 877-381-3811, 877-381-3811. Michael Chandler is a great UFC fighter. Terrific. He's also a great father. My kids, and I'm not going to get into specifics, obviously. My grandkids, our grandkids, go to a school, and my daughter obviously was with them on a little bit of a day trip to Chuck E. Cheese just to have some fun. It's a private religious facility. And, certain parents showed up to kind of chaperone, and one of them was Michael Chandler, the UFC fighter, Mr. Producer. And he has, I believe, one son who is the age of our grandson. Now, I am a UFC fanatic. I've been a UFC fanatic for 20 years. A lot of these guys have come to the UFC and radio lately. I've talked about it since I came on radio. I used to watch this stuff when they didn't fight in arenas. So long ago, before there was a UFC of any significant kind anyway. It may have been there, but I don't remember. But it's mixed martial arts, MMA. That's the name of the sport. And I remember where they would set up basically chicken wire fences with basically a wooden stage, and then they put protection on the stage, and they duke it out right there in the be like a little league baseball field or something like that, Mr. Producer, or a minor league baseball stadium in the middle of there. And I used to watch it. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I have to turn my head and so forth, but I enjoy watching people do things I've said before that I cannot do. Years ago, this house in Virginia, 24 years ago, was built from the bottom up. I would drive out here every 2 days just to watch these people. Amazed at the carpenters and other construction workers and the bricklayers and people laying the floors and the this and the that. There's a lot to building things. There's a lot to making things. There's a lot to developing drugs and all the rest of it. People don't realize it. You know, every couple of years I do the iPencil video or audio to explain to people how difficult these things are. Now, those of you who are involved in it, you understand that. You know, you got to bring in the electrician the right time, the plumber the right time, and this one and that one. You've got the drywall guy, you got the painters. It's just, and yet we do it better than anybody. We Americans, better than anybody. I don't know how these UFC guys do it. And so we actually did a FaceTime today. I've never met him. I've never spoke to him. I love these guys, like Dana White. I can meet any politician in the world. It wouldn't mean the same to me as meeting Dana White. And and so he was showing me a cut under his eye. I had a relatively recent fight. I could see he's had a broken nose and all the rest of it. Tough guy, but as nice as can be. Maybe I'll bring him on Fox one of these days. Maybe so. I'll tell you a little story about election night. I finished on radio here. We drove out as many people as we could to get to the polls, people who were in their trucks and their vans and their cars and their pickups, people who were sitting at the dinner table and eating, urging them, get out and vote. Here's the polling place. This is what time it closes. Here's where you go to find out exactly how to get to your polling place. We did it in state after state after state for 3 hours in this program, prime time, 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern. And this is what we do to help affect the election in a positive way. We've done it twice for president, actually 3 times for President Trump in all 3 elections. And it has an enormous impact. I'm not saying we won the election or anything. I'm saying we had a massive contribution to the election. We're under the radar. You got a lot of these podcaster hacks, a lot of these other hacks who want to take credit for what they do. I take credit for nothing. We just do it. We just do it. And you know this. And I can't tell you how many people come up to me and say, you know, I was going to drive right by the precinct, or I got up from the dinner table. That's what I did. We turn out an enormous number of people. And that's what we did for President Trump this last election and the 2 prior elections. And so we're off the radio. It's 9 p.m. Eastern, and I'm watching what you're watching on television. So then it's about 10:15 at night Eastern time, maybe 10:20, give or take. And I'm looking specifically at Pennsylvania. And even more specifically, I'm looking at Philadelphia. That's where I'm from. I've worked the suburbs of that city, and even that city, when I was very young, for decades. And so I know the numbers. And I'm watching the numbers come out of Philadelphia and the suburbs now that used to be Republican and would neutralize Philadelphia. Now they're all Democrat, pretty much. And what neutralizes Philadelphia is the more rural and central parts of Pennsylvania, the smaller towns and so forth. as you move from east to west and south to north. But I knew they needed to bring out a net vote of 600,000 to 700,000 out of Philadelphia and its suburbs. And what did I see, Mr. Producer? The trajectory was for 300,000 to 375,000 net votes out of that area. And I turned to my wife, my mother-in-law, my stepson. We were sitting in the same room. I said, Trump won Pennsylvania. They said, how do you know that? I said, I know Philadelphia. Well, you don't know that. I said, and I'm going to call him. And I'm going to tell him, you won Pennsylvania, you won the presidency. Now, you better be careful. I said, no. So I called President Trump, and he was in Mar-a-Lago with a bunch of family and friends. I said, Mr. President, if he were here, he'd remember, and I'd tell you. Next time he's here, try not to bother him right now. He's busy. One day we'll do that. I mean, I'm not Hugh Hewitt, who's, hey, Mr. President, what do you want? No, I don't do that. Now, that said, and I love Hugh, you know. Hugh and I go way back, but Hugh's a rhino. Hugh will admit it. He's a rhino. That's what he is. But he's a good guy. He's a nice guy. Don't get me wrong. I like him a lot. A lot. But let's not get distracted. He picked up and I said, congratulations. You won Pennsylvania and you're going to win the presidency. He said, what makes you say that? I said, I know Philadelphia. They don't have enough votes out of Philadelphia. He can't win Pennsylvania. They're not turning out. He was very excited. He was very happy to hear it. I don't know if he believed me. I think he did. And then he said to me, Mark, do you know Dana White? I said, look, I know who he is, but I've never talked to him. I don't know him. He said, hold on a second. Dana, come here. He hands Dana White. This is why I love Trump. I'm just being honest with you. He hands Dana Trump, I guess his cell phone. That's what I call. I don't know that Dana White knows me or not. And I said, I can't tell you how excited I am to talk to you. I'm the biggest UFC fan. I know everybody says that. You know, I'm your biggest fan, but I am. And he said, let me tell you something, Mark. You helped Donald Trump get elected. I can't thank you enough. That's what he said. I said, well, I don't know if I helped. We do it. He said, no. The president said you did. Now, folks, that's you. It's not me. That's you. And that's what we did. We pushed hard on election night. But that's, I think, contributed to his election. I just wanted to make sure we didn't have another 2020, quite frankly. But in any event, I bring that up because that was very exciting to me. To talk to Dana White, Mr. Producer. We've had Dana White on this program once, many years ago, when the then and would later be corrupt Speaker of the House, you'll remember, Rich, of in Albany in New York, was blocking the UFC from Madison Square Garden because he was representing whatever union he was representing, and they were blocking it. Remember all that? Mr. Producer's eating a steak sandwich, I think. Yeah. And so, well, he got canned. He went to jail or whatever it was, and they got it through. But we had Dana White on the program before that talking about the problems that they were having and so forth and so on. But I bring that up only in the context of Michael Chandler, who couldn't have been nicer. And I've talked to a number of these UFC guys. They're really smart. Chael Sonnen. I haven't talked to him in several years, but we used to talk. You know, you see his personality. He's kind of got that Muhammad Ali personality. He's in your face. He's this, he's that. He's very, very sharp. Nicest guy. Nicest guy. There's others too. I just can't remember them off the top of my head. But that was election night. Did I ever tell you that, Rich? I did. Did I tell the country that? I might have. Okay, well, getting a little Biden there. We'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Pay rent with Built to earn flexible, transferable points and unlock exclusive benefits. There's no cost to join, and just by paying rent, you unlock flexible points that can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, a future rent payment, your next Lyft ride, and more. When you pay rent through Built, you unlock two powerful benefits. First, you earn one of the industry's most valuable points on rent every month. No matter where you live or who your landlord is, your rent now works for you. Second, you gain access to exclusive neighborhood benefits in your city. Built's neighborhood benefits are things like extra points on dining out, complimentary post-workout shakes, free mats or towels at your favorite fitness studios, and unique experiences that only Built members can access. And when you're ready to travel, Built points can be converted to your favorite miles and hotel points around the world, meaning your rent can literally take you places. So if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, what are you waiting for? Start paying rent through Built and take advantage of your neighborhood benefits by going to joinbuilt.com/WWO. That's JOINBILT.com/WWO. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. Joinbuilt.com/WWO to sign up for Built today.
Hackers don't need much. Just one leaked password can potentially unlock a treasure trove of personal information, leading to stress, pain, and permanently wreck credit. Don't be an easy target. Get protection by Aura today. Aura protects your identity, finances, and family all in one powerful app. Get real-time alerts, safeguard your accounts, and block scams before they happen. If identity theft strikes, we help you recover. Stay protected at aura.com/stream. That's AURA.com/stream.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you got to hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe, and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free, so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
Making sense of the media. The news media is attacking them because this is what happens when you're a Republican.
Chris Plant, weekdays 9 to noon.
Yeah, our news media, really.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Don't get suckered into the same old free phone game by Big Wireless that comes with a lot of fine print, like requiring you to sign up for 4 lines plus activation fees. And the end of the day, you paid for that free phone 3 times over. Pure Talk is my sponsor, my wireless company. They have a much better offer. With a qualifying plan of just $35 a month, you can get a brand new Samsung Galaxy A26 for free. All you need to do is switch to Pure Talk. For just $35 a month, you get unlimited talk, text, 15 gigs of data, more than you'll ever need, with mobile hotspot, all on one of America's most dependable 5G networks. Dial pound 250, say keyword Mark Levin, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will help you switch in as little as 10 minutes. That's pound 250, say Mark Levin, for your free Samsung Galaxy with qualifying plan from Pure Talk. Wireless by Americans, for Americans.
Making sense of your world.
I don't know where to begin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Thanks for taking my call.
Making sense of the news. WMAL's Vince Colonnades, weekdays at noon on 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Oh, look at this. Mediocreite is very busy. All they do is take down what you say and spin it with the headline. Let's see, what do they have here? Mediaite. Hold on now. You got ads popping all over the damn place. Fox's Mark Levin drops scathing attack on Trump's Middle East envoy, Alex Grifter. Fox News host Mark Levin ripped Steve Witkoff, President Donald Trump's ambassador at large and special envoy to the Middle East on Friday afternoon, over comments he made to Breitbart's Matt Boyle, attacking the neocon element in the GOP, that is, Witkoff did. In a clip shared by Trump's official rapid response team on X, Witkoff tells Boyle, by the way, I'm a big fan of Breitbart, big fan of that site. The neocon element, this is Witkoff. The neocon element believes that war is the only way to solve things. The president believes that his force of personality, the way he's going to respond to certain situations, can bend people to do things in a better way in the interests of the United States government. I believe in that too. Levin, a staunch foreign policy hawk. I'm not a staunch foreign policy hawk. I'm a pro-American national security hawk. Replied in his post, laugh out loud. The envoy talks like a fifth column isolationist. Nobody believes war is the only way. We wait with great interest to see the deal you are negotiating with the warmonger Iranian terrorist regime. In the meantime, rather than sloganeering against patriotic Americans who love our country, use your name calling for the terrorist regime that has murdered Americans, tried to assassinate our president, chanced death to America, and has lied its way toward a nuclear bomb, added Levin, who's been a longtime advocate for the U.S. taking a hardline approach to Iran. That's all true, isn't it, Rick? In a later post, Levin wrote, by the way, neocon is a pejorative for Jew. Unbelievable. Levin apparently meant to say neocon is a pejorative for Jew. What did I misspell it? I guess. I always, the damn iPhone misspells everything. Suggesting that Witkoff, who's also Jewish, was engaging in some self-slander. So far, true. Talks about what Matt Boyles wrote. That's fine. Levin, who Trump named to the Homeland Security Department's advisory board, attacking Witkoff is yet another example. I'm not attacking anybody. I'm laying out the facts. Growing divide in the GOP between the more isolationist, anti-interventionist wing of the party, led largely by the likes of Vice President J.D. Vance, and the more classic hawkish GOP position on foreign policy. Look, ladies and gentlemen, for me, it's not about personalities. It's not. It's not. It's just not. And I'm a counterpuncher, just like the president. I didn't attack Steve Witkoff, but if he's going to paint with this broad brush about neocons, pejorative and stuff of that sort, I'm going to respond. Because in part, they're talking about me, and I'm not going to put up with it. My position is peace through strength, not peace through mealy mouth. I still have great faith that President Trump's going to have a great deal, not because of Witkoff or anybody else, because of President Trump. So we don't have any disagreement there. But this neocon talk, this Jew talk, especially coming from a Jew, is unacceptable to me. Period. This warmonger talk, when the warmongers are the Iranians and the Qataris and the Saudi Arabians and the Hamasians who've attacked us. That's on them. That's not on us. So this is largely correct, what they have posted here, even though they're trying to personalize it and create some kind of, controversy. There's no controversy. There's nothing personal with me. He said what he said, and I said what I said, and that's what I do. I'm a radio host and a TV host, and a patriotic American. Mr. Producer, will you go back to social media and correct the spelling on that? I know we're going to lose all the followers. I don't care. When I do this iPhone typing, we get a lot of word changes, word misspellings for my iPhone. I mean, I just wrote a friend an iPhone message during the break, and somehow the name Matilda came up. Matilda. The hell's Matilda? They took a word like must, and they turned it into M-U-S-T, Matilda. Well, that's what happens here, too. So we try to catch it, but I'm so busy posting, writing, preparing, prepping, that I just don't get to look at all of it. Anyway, so I'd say it's mostly accurate. I don't know that it's a scathing attack on Trump's Middle East envoy. But this is what the likes of the National Enquirer on the internet does. Mediaite is a very corrupt operation. It's mostly like Media Matters now. Except Media Matters is a source operation, and Mediaite is a Dan Abrams operation. And as I've told you, Dan Abrams is the Jerry Springer of cable. And he's really the Jerry Springer of the internet, too. He's an unserious person. I don't know how people look at him and don't start laughing with that massive squirrel glued to the top of his head. And this guy, Alex Grifter, a.k.a. Griffin, big lefty. So they're hanging around. What did Levin say? So tomorrow, my opening, I praised Trump's first 100 days. I explained why he's a historic and iconic figure, why he's a truly consequential president. Let's see if Mediaite posts that. I'm just curious. I'm not opposed to what they post tonight. It's out there. It's public. Their little spin on it. That's what they do. It's not accurate. It's not a scathing attack. It is a reply to a scathing attack. It's not personal with me. I don't know Witkoff. It's not personal with me. That's an interesting thing, too, on our side of the aisle. We debate. We challenge. We think things through. And we can do so, sometimes in a very aggressive way, sometimes in a very passionate way, not the other side. The other side, they put on their boots, they shine them up, and they march in a line. That's what they do. Now, they're all attacking Biden because he's incapable of responding. They're all attacking Fetterman because they want to get rid of him. Oh, you see, Fetterman's having issues. No, he's not. His issue is he's not them. He's not them. All right, I'll be right back.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-809-7171. 800-809-7171.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you got to hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflush.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe, and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflush.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflush.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free, so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflush.com.
A Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Some people are natural-born perfectionists. On one hand, that can help drive them toward great things. On the other, it could be detrimental to their mental health. I recently talked about this on my podcast, Chasing Life, with Dr. Ellen Hendrickson, a clinical psychologist at Boston University. Nobody ever says, I'm a perfectionist, she told me. Instead, what they say is, I feel like I'm failing. I feel like I'm falling behind. Try to remember this. We are not our achievements. We are our relationships, our interests, our values, our enjoyment of life. You should also try to talk to yourself like you would a good friend, a bit more gently, and dare to be unproductive. Self-improvement feels good, Ellen said, but you don't have to build a skill, learn something new, or do something that's necessarily good for you all the time. Have some fun. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
Illuminating the issues.
There's a whole lot missing here in this story, isn't there?
Every day.
Why are we the only ones reporting this?
News Talk 105.9. Making sense of the news.
What would you give for a child you loved?
to make their wish come true, to help them fight a critical illness. Just imagine what you'd do. You see, wishes are so powerful, and you can make them real. They can give a child back their childhood, even change the way they feel. Every single one of us can make the stars align, because when we come together, hope and joy will shine. Wishes need stars like you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
Your phone has a lot of apps, but how many of them help you make sense of your world? The new WMAL app gives you the latest headlines, perspective from the voices you trust, and weather info to keep you in the know, all without having to remember yet another password.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Stream your favorite shows, get the day's top headlines, and access our podcast archives, all with the new WMAL app.
Thank you.
Get the WMAL app today on Google Play or the Apple App Store, and stay connected.
Every 15 seconds, someone is diagnosed with cancer. If it's happened to you or someone you love, the American Cancer Society can help at every step of the journey. Visit cancer.org today.
The Bigger Pockets Podcast Network is your home for real estate investing.
Can we have an honest talk about real estate?
What's your opinion on the market?
Every day, I hear people talking about how it's impossible to invest in real estate and it's not even worthwhile anymore. I'm getting pretty frustrated.
Get real talk from real estate pros.
I am trying to be debt-free by 40.
You have got to pay attention to this trend, or follow me and I'll let you know what's going on.
Search for the Bigger Pockets Real Estate Show anywhere you listen to your podcasts.
Making sense of your world.
There are a lot of things that really tick me off.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news. WMAL. Making sense of the roads. Because traffic doesn't always follow the pattern. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
This is the home of America's founding. Call in now, 877-381-3811.
All right. Lots going on, America. Lots going on. We just keep plugging ahead. By the way, I hope you have a great weekend, great Mother's Day Sunday. Hope you guys out there have great plans for your wives, your mothers, aunts, sisters, however you do this, for whomever you do it. In today's unpredictable world, Byrna offers a smarter, safer way to protect yourself. Very important. Trusted by over 500 government agencies, the Byrna less lethal pistol launcher, rests in your hand, looks like a pistol, is designed to incapacitate attackers without permanent harm, giving you time to escape or get help. Take Lauren's story. Confronted by an aggressive man who was in his face, wouldn't back down despite attempts to de-escalate. Well, thankfully, Lauren had his Byrna with him. One shot incapacitated the attacker. That was it. Laid him out, allowing police to intervene without anyone suffering irreparable harm. Now, here's the key. Byrna is legal across all 50 states. It requires no background checks. It ships right to your door. Proudly assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana, right here in America, and over 500,000 units have already been sold. It is tested, it works, and in a pinch, when you need it, it works great. I have one. I have a target for one. I enjoy it. I use it, and I think you're going to need it and use it too. Hopefully you won't need it, but you'll use it too. So for my listeners, get 10% off at Byrna.com/Levin. That's B-Y-B-Y-R-N-A. Byrna, not B-U, B-Y. BYRNA.com/Levin. BYRNA.com/LEVIN. This is a perfect device to have in your home. Perfect device to give to your mother or your father or grandparents so they can protect themselves too. Protect yourself and your family the smart way with Byrna. You have to be 18 years old, but visit Byrna.com/Levin, BYRNA.com/Levin. You know, I see people, they walk around with sprays, like bear sprays or urine spray. You're attacked. That's not going to do anything. You don't do that, do you, Mr. Producer? Mr. Producer has a Byrna. I have a burner. So again, check it out. byrna.com, burna.com/LEVIN. That's Amora. That's Levin. All right. Do we have some calls here? Let me see. We do. It's getting late in the day. We want to get to some of our callers. I promised that I would. Let's see here. Oh, looky here. We have, wow. Let's keep going. All right. Let's go to Lance in Missouri, Kalispell, KJJR. Go right ahead, please.
Good evening, sir. Yes, I'm actually Kalispell, Montana, but...
Montana,
hey,
that's what he wrote. I'm sorry.
Hey, I've heard of your request to create a XXL jumpsuit, and even though I'm a simple nail bender...
For Letitia James, yes.
Yeah, I've spoken to a few of the people in commercial, residential, and civil construction, and to help combat climate change, we're all willing to donate our high-vis orange to making slightly, how shall I say, slightly used jumpsuits for all for the need that's going to be. It would be nice if Allegiance flags would come alongside us and maybe help give us some pointers on, levels of quality and all of that. But I even got one of my buddies that owns a trucking company. He said he'd be willing to donate some of his oversized load tarps.
Really?
To helping, to helping.
We could make a whole wardrobe for Letitia James.
Yes, sir.
Let me say this. You're a charitable man. You really are. You're very charitable, and I like this about you very much. All right, brother. Thank you. Let's continue. Jeffrey, Pleasant Hill, Missouri. The show me state, but don't show us. Go right ahead, please.
You're a national treasure, Mark.
Thank you, brother.
You, sir, are a national treasure.
Thank you.
I want to know what you thought about Ann Coulter's posting social media about the U.S. House passing H.R. 1526.
I don't know what that is.
It limits district court judges' authority to issue orders blocking presidential policies nationwide.
Well, I agree with that. I don't care what Ann Coulter says one way or another. Why should I care?
Well,
I didn't even know she was still writing, to be perfectly honest with you. But I think that's very sensible. That's the way it's supposed to work. There's more they can do and more they should do, but that's a good start. What do you think?
That's what I thought, but you're the expert on the Men in Black, so I want to hear your take.
Yeah, they're going to take certain jurisdiction that the courts have stolen for themselves back, which is a district court. Notice they're called federal district courts. That is, they're judges within a specific district. They're not called federal courts, federal district courts. They're not called federal national courts. We cannot have 700 or so judges issuing national temporary orders or injunctions or orders at all. That's not what they're there for. That's not what's intended. It all started in around 1963, one or two cases, and gradually, incrementally, and now explosively, this is what they're doing. And if the courts keep doing this, they're going to destroy the republic. So you got to push back. Congress has a role, and we should support this. The House of Representatives under Speaker Johnson has pushed this through. We're waiting for the Senate. If there's a filibuster issue, then get it onto some damn budget bill and get it through reconciliation and get it over with. All right, brother?
So it has some hope then.
Yes, keep hope alive.
That's awesome.
Well, they got to do it. And so we'll keep encouraging them to do it. I mean, we are activists here. We are mission oriented. That's what we do. All right, brother. Great call, Montana. Enjoyed it. Let's continue, shall we? Actually, it was Jeffrey from Missouri. I'm sorry. Hello. Let's go to Dave in Surprise, Arizona. I think we've had Dave before from Surprise, Arizona. KKNT. Surprise is near what? Tucson?
No, sir. It's in the Northwest Valley of Metro Phoenix, sir.
I was taking a wild guess, really. But how are you?
Yeah, no, it's all good. I'm very blessed to be alive. I got the top side of the sheet today.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I really
not on the sheet, but to be alive. Yes, go ahead.
Well, I appreciate your rant yesterday. You were full of righteous indignation. And I hope that more people can wake up, because my humble opinion, we have been in the kinetic portion of this war for at least 4 years. As you know, the fentanyl poisoning by the CCP, China, has taken place for 4 years, 1,400 days of 300 of our fellow American citizens dying every day.
300,000, 300 every day, yes.
300 every day for 1,400 days, yes, sir. So,
right.
and if you think that's going to end, it's not. The precursors and the fentanyl got through the border before J20. So that's going to go on for years if those pills are distributed. And some of them look like Tic Tacs or Chiclets, and nobody knows what they're getting anymore.
No.
Yes, sir.
You're 100% right. And
that is the existential threat of our time, sir.
All right, brother. I'm with you. 100%. All right. Who else do we have here, Mr. Producer? I'm looking. Let's go with Marie. Where is Marie? I don't have the list here, Mr. Producer. Come on. In Binghamton, New York? Wow, that's cool.
Yes, sir.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Oh, it's an honor to speak with you, Mr. Levin. Thank you.
The honor
for
is
your work.
all mine.
Very important. Well,
And you
thank
know what? I want to give WNBF the credit that it deserves. Go right ahead.
Yes, sir. You opened up talking about climate change, formerly known as global warming, and how some of our spiritual leaders are confused by this. So I thought I might read from the Bible, the Tanakh, what God has to say in Genesis chapter 8:22. While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. So we know God's word doesn't return void. That pretty much sums it up. There will be seasons.
Yes, and he'll do as he wishes, no matter what these Lilliputians here.
That's right.
And these people, they're not really interested in the climate. That's the truth. They're interested in, Marie, in controlling you and me. They act like they have some powers they don't have. They can't even run the damn FAA. They can't even secure the border. So now they're going to be able to control the weather if we just change the way we live. In other words, surrender our liberty, surrender our wealth, surrender our lifestyle. No, we're not doing it.
And especially coming from these so-called spiritual leaders. I don't know about this current pope, but again, it's a shame.
All right. Well, here we have this so-called historian, David Brinkley, is out there. What's the Pope think of climate change? Marie, look, I'm Jewish, I got it. But of all the things the Pope should be thinking about, the historians, what about climate change? What about dummy this historian is? Thank you for your call, my friend. We'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
What would you give for a child you loved? To make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. You see, wishes are so powerful, and you can make them real. They can give a child back their childhood, even change the way they feel. Every single one of us can make the stars align. Because when we come together, hope and joy will shine. Wishes need stars like you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
Hi, I'm Vince Callanes, host of The Vince Show and Vince Podcast. It's a show with an obsessive focus on what's good for America. I'll give you the truth beneath the headlines of all of the nation's top stories. The Vince Show is redefining news talk with in-depth interviews, live caller interactions, and a front row seat to the most important conversations of the day, every day. The Vince Show and Vince Podcast.
WMAL's Vince Callanes, weekdays at noon. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
No Contest Wrestling. O'Shea Jackson Jr. and TJ Jefferson with the biggest names in the game.
Give it up for the Dark Angel.
First one.
First.
I can believe it.
NXT double champion. Welcome the King, Lexus King.
I don't know if I'd be where I'm at now if I didn't take the path that I took.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jada Parker. What made you, after the soccer career, go WWE?
The answer I always have to that is like, why not?
The No Contest Wrestling Podcast, part of the Rich Eisen Podcast Network. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Making sense of your world on the go. Screen your favorite shows, get the day's top headlines, and access our podcast archives, all with the new WMAL app.
This is for you.
Get the WMAL app on Google Play or the Apple App Store and stay connected.
While serving in Iraq, our vehicle was hit. They didn't think I was going to make it. I'm Latoya Lucas, and I'm a veteran. I had to learn to live with the scars, both visible and invisible.
DAV helps veterans like Latoya get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year.
My victory is overcoming my wounds so I can help other veterans.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Hi, I'm Jamie McMurray, professional race car driver here with cab driver Artie.
Professional cab driver.
Sorry, professional cab driver Artie. Drinking responsibly is knowing your limits. If you are over yours, ask Artie or someone like Artie to get you home safely. To learn more about drinking responsibly, go to beforeyoudrink.org.
So, you think I could take your number 26 Crown Royal race car for a spin?
Did you get out of there?
Be a champion. Drink responsibly. This message has been brought to you by the Century Council.
You know, Americans love using their credit cards, one of the most secure and hassle-free ways to pay. But DC politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com, guardyourcard.com, paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Making sense of your world.
Greatly appreciated.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
I love listening to you.
Making sense of the news. WMAL, making sense of social media, because big tech can't be trusted. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
I think it's fantastic. Let's have this debate. Open, Mr. Producer, this debate. Let's have it. About Iran and fifth column isolationists and warmongers and neocons. Let's have it, baby. I am all for this. Let's expose this little cabal for what it is. And by the way, over there at Mediocre, we corrected the spelling. And again, I explained, I write this iPhone. Every now and then we have to go in and correct them anyway. So I appreciate you noting that. Even Mr. Producer tried to get to it in time, but he didn't. I was just on the run. But no excuses. It's the way it is. Who cares? So neocon is a pejorative for Jew. So you have people who will say Jew, and then you have people who will say neocon. Joe Rogan does this. Tucker Carlson does this. Other people do it. They mean Jew. It's okay. Say what they want. But they're not alone. Steve Witkoff says it, who's a Jew. So I'm just calling it out for what it is. Why is that controversial, Mr. Producer? It's a pejorative that they use. I don't know why that's controversial. The saying it is controversial. Me pointing it out is not controversial. I've just never heard a Jew before use a pejorative against Jews. I just thought that was kind of weird, and I noted that. And so did a lot of other people. Very weird. Just saying. Let's discuss the issues, the substance. That's what we need to discuss. The Trump agenda. What the president wants, and he's been abundantly clear. That's the debate. Not all this, what about Iraq? Come on. History, economics, the great works of literature, the meaning of the U.S. Constitution. Did you study these things in school? Probably not. Even if you did, maybe it's time for a refresher. Hillsdale College is offering more than 40 free online courses. Learn about the works of C.S. Lewis. He was a great Christian philosopher and thinker, a layman. The stories in the book of Genesis, the history of the ancient Christian church with Hillsdale College's free online courses. This is a fantastic college, folks. They have over 40 courses they're offering. And within the courses, they have, different lecture series. And I want to strongly encourage you to check it out. The Second World Wars, I found that incredible. You had Victor Davis Hanson and Hillsdale President Larry Arnn, two great friends, two great thinkers. And these courses are paced so you can start whenever and wherever you want. So go right now, check them out. levinforhillsdale.com. Go there to enroll. LEVIN for Hillsdale.com. There's no cost. Easy to get started. That's Levin, LEVIN for Hillsdale.com. Register for free, Levin for Hillsdale.com. Well, it is Friday. Every Friday we do Ray Charles in America. But this is the Friday before Mother's Day. And again, I want to wish all your mothers a wonderful, wonderful Mother's Day. My mother-in-law, my beautiful wife, my daughter, all the other stepdaughter, my niece, the whole family of women, smart, beautiful women, as in your own lives. Don't forget Life, Liberty, and Levin, 8 p.m. Eastern, Saturday and Sunday. Set your DVRs. Here we go. Ray Charles in America.
Our heroes proved in liberating strife. Who more than self their country loved, and in mercy more than life. America, America, may God thy gold refine till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. And you know, when I was in school, we used to sing it something like this. Listen here. Oh, beauty thy far spacious skies, far amber waves of grain, far purple mountain majesties, over the fruited plain. But now wait a minute, I'm talking about America, sweet America. You know, God done shed his grace on thee. He crowned thy good. Yes, he did. Every brotherhood from sea to shining sea. You know, I wish I had somebody to help me say this. You see, my God, he done shed his grace on thee. You ought to love him for it, because he crowned thy good. He told me he would. Every brotherhood.
Folks, set your DVR, please. 8 p.m. Eastern Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Sunday, every Saturday and Sunday, so you can watch our show. I know Sunday's Mother's Day, so you'll have it there when you come home. They're big shows, Life, Liberty, and Levin on Fox. We salute our armed forces, police officers, firefighters, emergency personnel, our truckers, the men and women in Ukraine, the men and women in Israel. We have your good night, Spritey. Good night, Griffey. Good night, Pepsi. Good night, Smokey and Zell and Gigi. Good night, Patton and Rory. And good night, Barney and Marty. Good night, Dad and Mom and all the other beloved members of our family. Happy Mother's Day. See you tomorrow.
Making sense of your world.
I agree with everything you're saying.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
My heart just breaks for what's going on.
Making sense of the news. Illuminating the issues.
There's a whole lot missing here in this story, isn't there?
Every day.
Why are we the only ones reporting this?
News Talk 105.9. Making sense of the news.
Hey, I'm Reba McEntire. In life, you'll hear a lot of people tell you that you can do anything you want. I'm here to tell you that's true. Since I was a little girl, I dreamed of becoming a successful singer and entertainer. It took a lot of hard work, dedication, and perseverance to find my success, but it was worth it. I never gave up on my dreams. Remember, you can never have a dream come true until you've had a dream. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Your phone has a lot of apps, but how many of them help you make sense of your world? The new WMAL app gives you the latest headlines, perspective from the voices you trust, and weather info to keep you in the know, all without having to remember yet another password.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Stream your favorite shows, get the day's top headlines, and access our podcast archives, all with the new WMAL app.
Thank you.
Get the WMAL app today on Google Play or the Apple App Store, and stay connected.
Every time I feel my baby kick, I sing. You don't understand. I never sing. I'm not good at singing. I'm the only person I know who's been booed off a karaoke stage. But that was before I was pregnant. Today, I'm a singer with a captive audience of one. She doesn't boo me. She never will. We know how it feels. We're the March of Dimes. Find out how we can help you have a healthier baby at marchofdimesbaby.org.
Making sense of your world on the go. Stream your favorite shows, get the day's top headlines, and access our podcast archives, all with the new WMAL app.
This is for you.
Get the WMAL app on Google Play or the Apple App Store, and stay connected. WMAL FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
He says he did nothing wrong. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. Newark, New Jersey Mayor Ross Baraka with that statement after he was released following a protest at an ICE facility in Newark.
This should not have happened today, but it did. And it's just an example of the work that we have to do.
Fox's Alexis McAdams is in Newark.
The Newark mayor and members of Congress, Robert Menendez Jr., Bobby Watson Coleman, and LaMonica MacGyver say they just wanted to get into an ICE detention facility earlier today. And when they waited and waited, they decided to go in themselves, according to DHS. Sources say that when the gates of Delaney Hall Detention Center opened this afternoon to let in a bus full of detainees, the Democratic elected officials ran inside, pushing by security.
Interim U.S. Attorney for New Jersey, Alina Habba, said on X, Baraka committed trespass and ignored warnings from Homeland Security. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy said he was outraged at Baraka's arrest. Pakistan says it's targeted an Indian missile storage facility and air bases after India fired missiles at 3 air bases inside Pakistan, but most of the missiles were intercepted. Tensions flared up between the neighboring countries last month after an assault on Hindus in Kashmir that India blamed on Pakistan. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick expressing optimism as trade talks between the U.S. and China are set to begin tomorrow.
So I think the president would like to work it out with China. As he said, he'd like to de-escalate it. But look, he's not going to live with $1 trillion deficit.
On Fox's The Ingram Angle, the U.S. has been locked in a trade war with China for weeks after President Trump imposed 145% tariffs on Chinese goods. China, in return, launched 125% tariffs on U.S. imports. Google ordered to pay the state of Texas $1.4 billion to settle claims the company collected users' data without permission. America's listening to Fox News.
These
DC Exodus. I'm Sharon Reardon from the Novak Motors News Desk. Good evening. A new Washington Post poll explains why many people are considering leaving the DMV.
With more than 1 in 5 residents surveyed pondering a move out of the area, that number jumped to more than 4 in 10 when a family member or someone living in that house is now a former federal worker or contractor. Almost 20% of the area's employees have ties to the federal workforce. The Post notes February's DC unemployed was up more than 12% over last year. Prince George's and Fairfax counties jumped as well. There's a lag, notes George Mason economist Terry Clower.
It takes a while for that data to show up, but also just the way some of these separations, the reduction in force, the terminations of probationary employees, things like that have happened.
Scott Lynn on WMAL and WMAL.com.
A double tragedy for a Montgomery County woman who took her dog in for routine medical care.
You think everything's going to be okay, and then we're hours later just saying goodbye.
Jennifer Gutierrez took her 8-year-old Chihuahua named Coco to an animal shelter for a teeth cleaning under anesthesia, and he didn't make it.
They offered to send him for a necropsy to find out what had caused his death.
The body was shipped, but the package was damaged and apparently thrown away. The thought of him in the trash
is honestly what kills me the most.
Both the hospital and FedEx have apologized, but
I loved him so much.
John Matthews on WMAL and WMAL.com.
And local Catholic leaders are hoping the enthusiasm over the first American Pope will attract more people to the church. Monsignor Paul de la Durante with the Catholic Diocese of Arlington says the mission of the church is to evangelize. A Mass of Thanksgiving for Pope Leo will be held on Monday at noon at the Cathedral of St. Thomas More. WMAL News Time is 9:04. I'm Sharon Reardon.
Hackers don't need much. Just one leaked password can potentially unlock a treasure trove of personal information, leading to stress, pain, and permanently wrecked credit. Don't be an easy target. Get protection by Aura today. Aura protects your identity, finances, and family all in one powerful app. Get real-time alerts, safeguard your accounts, and block scams before they happen. If identity theft strikes, we help you recover. Stay protected at aura.com/stream. That's AURA.com/stream.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you got to hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflush.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe, and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflush.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflush.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free, so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflush.com.
The Bigger Pockets Podcast Network is your home for real estate investing.
Can we have an honest talk about real estate?
What's your opinion on the market?
Every day, I hear people talking about how it's impossible to invest in real estate and it's not even worthwhile anymore. I'm getting pretty frustrated.
Get real talk from real estate pros.
I am trying to be debt-free by 40.
You have got to pay attention to this trend. Or follow me and I'll let you know what's going on.
Search for the Bigger Pockets Real Estate Show anywhere you listen to your podcasts.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
On top of first-class care, you will never receive a bill. The only thing we had to worry about was just keeping Azalea comfortable. St. Jude saved her life.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. America at Night with Rich Valdez.
Live
from the city that never sleeps. 17 miles from Madison Square Garden, New York City. It's America at Night with Rich Valdez, America's favorite late night talk program, featuring interesting guests from around the world and calls from across America. And now, here is your host, Rich Valdez.
All right, here we go. Welcome to Friday evening in America, everybody. Welcome to the Rich Valdez Show. My name is Paul Vandenberg. We're in Albany, New York tonight. Rich is celebrating a family milestone, and he'll be back with you on Monday evening. Back on Monday, and we're here for tonight till midnight on the East Coast, and I look forward to talking to a lot of you along the way here on the Rich Valdez Show on Westwood 1. It'll be open Phone America tonight. And before I came on earlier this evening, talking to the folks at the control studio about Larry King and Jim Bohannon and all the folks that did the show before Rich did, and quite a history, a long history of great talk at this time of night. And I am in Albany, New York. Again, my name is Paul Vandenberg. I've done this. I do the mornings here at Talk 1300 WGDJ in Albany. And so many times I've had a chance to step in and do these things, that I don't do it because I get up early in the morning. I'm usually in my office every morning at about 3:45. So we're here doing the morning show. And it's hard to do a nighttime talk show or even given the opportunity like this to do it. But in my origins, I want to get this out of the way because I've been thinking about this since I committed to doing the show tonight. In my origins in talk radio, and I've been doing talk in this market since '86. Next year will be 40. If I make it to next year, it'll be 40 years. And I in my origins, I did a lot of nighttime talk, and I loved it. And always thought early on that this would be what I would do. I like doing talk very much. And I loved working at night because, it was just so much easier to work at night because there's so many things you don't have to do at night that you have to do during the day. And then back in 94, I was asked to do mornings. And I thought, well, I'll do it for now. It won't last long. And here I am all these years later, still doing mornings. And I haven't done a nighttime talk show in over 30 years. And to say I was looking forward to this tonight would be an understatement because this ought to be fun because it's been so long and I haven't had a chance to do this. Tonight ought to be fun. There's a lot of you out there listening, a lot of stations. We'll get your phone calls in. We'll do it all between now and midnight here on the East Coast. And there is no lack of news. I didn't schedule any guests tonight. And the reason I didn't is because I would much rather take your phone calls, which we will do. And we'll do it shortly. But let's talk about a couple of things that happened during the course of the day today, okay? Because there is a lot of news, and there's I've had a bit of a theme back here in Albany for the last couple of weeks, which I'm kind of hung up on a little bit, and I hope it doesn't prevent me from getting some other things tonight. But I've been kind of hung up on a theme here for the last couple of weeks, and the theme is: are you in or are you out? And what I mean by that is there's a massive change going on in America right now. I mean, it's remarkable, the change that's going on in America right now. And as I watch what's going on and see all these things happening out there, like today, here, we'll use today and this afternoon as an example. You saw the mayor of Newark, this Ras Baraka, get arrested for trespassing down in Newark. And this is a place called Delaney Hall. Now, I'm not familiar with the landscape in Newark, but this is a place called Delaney Hall. And it is a place where ICE is housing immigrants. And they've got, based on the numbers I see so far, about 1,000 in there. And these people that are in there are alleged killers. They're MS-13 gang members. They're child rapists. These are the people in there. And here are the Democrats, Ras Baraka, the mayor of Newark, along with Monica Melber, Bernie, or is it Benny Coleman? Bonnie Coleman, and Bob Menendez Jr. And you know what? I didn't know that Bob Menendez Sr. had a kid in Congress. Really? And he's down there. I watched him do a little press conference outside of the hall down there, Delaney Hall today, crying like a child. And these are all Democrats. And you're wondering to yourself, what is the goal here? What's the idea here? What are they doing here? And here they are. You have the worst criminals in this place, the worst, okay? And you're wondering, what the hell are they doing? They're flying to El Salvador, trying to get criminals out of jail. Here they are in Newark getting arrested. Now, Ras Baraka, the mayor of Newark, was arrested. And here's Alina Habba, who is awesome. Alina Habba, the former personal attorney for Donald Trump. And Trump sent her into New Jersey. She presently is the acting U.S. attorney in New Jersey. And there she is on Fox this afternoon. I caught her talking about how these Democrats are doing nothing more than grandstand, which is exactly what they're doing. And that gets back to what I said about, are you in or are you out? Because, folks, this change in America right now is something that is two-sided. It's Trump on one side with his ideas, and these Democrats on the other side with virtually nothing. And I didn't do this tonight to be so generic, but there are times during the course of these changes in America where you really have to get back to basics and take a look as we are. It's almost the middle of May. You're almost 4 months into the Trump presidency. And you've got to take a look at what's going on in America and say, are we on the right track? Or are we not on the right track? Here is Trump with a pocket full of ideas that he has and is trying to implement. Deportation, which, he's got this idea about free flights, $1,000 in cash. Remember, this was first proposed 13 years ago by Mitt Romney. And this is a marvelous idea for people that are here and want to get out of here, get them out. He's closed the borders. Nobody's getting across the borders. Tariffs, you're hearing a lot about, and they're working. Middle East peace, the Ukrainian problem, Doge, Elon Musk, the elimination of the education department. I can go on and on. All of these programs are programs that Trump wants to implement and wants to get them working for the betterment of America. And here we are this afternoon. I mean, my afternoon is interrupted by some goofy mayor in Newark, New Jersey, who is grandstanding. I mean, Alina Habba was right on the money. ICE is out there trying to do work that Americans want done. We want these thugs off the streets. Remember, your daughters, your parents, your granddaughters, they're on the streets of America. And so are these thugs from somewhere else in the world. And here's Trump trying to get rid of them. And people like the mayor of Newark, Cory Booker, I see Cory Booker and Phil Murphy are outraged over the mayor getting arrested. Well, as Alina Habba said, that mayor wouldn't have been arrested if he wasn't grandstanding. And you've got to ask yourself, am I in or am I out? Because it is clear after nearly 4 months of the Trump administration what he's trying to do. What he's trying to do is crystal clear. He's trying to fix the problems in America. And the other side is showing up at places like ICE detention centers, as they did today in Newark, New Jersey, and trying to do what? Trying to get criminals out of jail or out of incarceration? It doesn't work. It's not working. So are you in or are you out tonight in America? Are you okay with Trump? You like what he's doing? You like what he's saying? Or do you think he's not on the right track? Is he or isn't he? I think he is. I think he is. And I am all in on him. All in on Trump because Trump is on the right track. You know, Trump is a guy who, you know, you like him or you don't like him, right? If you're out there tonight, you're listening to me somewhere in America, and you're thinking, you know, the guy's loony, I'd love to hear why you think that. Because I think this guy loves America. I think he's a true patriot. And I think what he's trying to do in America is get America back to where America needs to be. I'm good with Trump. And I'm good with Elena Haba and ICE down there in Newark, New Jersey this afternoon, arresting Ras Baraka and anybody else down there, including all these members of Congress, who go down there and talk about how mean everybody is to them. Are you kidding me? How mean they are to you. You can't be serious. But you are. They are serious. This is where they are. This is what they are. Whining about what's happening in the ICE detention center, okay? And I've got more on that I'm going to come back to. I also have a bit on Pope Leo tonight that we need to talk about, because there's parts of that story that are comfortable and not comfortable. And I will tell you this before I get into it. Pope Leo gets walked out to the balcony yesterday after the white smoke clears, the gates open to the balcony, the doors open to the balcony. It's walked out. I will tell you what bothered me the most. You ready? What bothered me was not a word of English. Not a word. Not even thank you. I would have loved to have heard thank you. And I brought it up on my program here in Albany this morning and got a lot of thoughts. Then I got off the air, and of course, there's 30 emails. No, was there 30? No, there was probably about 25. About 25 emails, people that wanted to comment on. Because I didn't get the impression in watching the introduction yesterday of the new Pope that there was a lot of love there for America. I didn't get it, though it was the first American Pope ever named. And I want to talk a little bit about him this morning. And I want you to remember one thing about the Pope, okay? You look around the world. Sometimes people lose sight of this or don't know it. You look around the world, there's 1.4 billion with a B Catholics in the world. 1.4 billion, all right? 85 million here in the United States. 85 million. A lot of Catholics, a lot. This is a powerful, powerful man. And he's got work to do. And I want to talk a little bit about the work he's got to do tonight. Get your thoughts on that. And much more. Boy, I'll tell you another. How about Newark? How about the other story in Newark? About the airplanes, right? I want to touch on that a little bit. I'm going to bring you closer to home here on my front tonight, too, and tell you about the Attorney General in New York, something by the name of Letitia James, who is now being investigated by the U.S. Attorney's Office in a place called the Northern District of New York, which is pretty much where her office is here in Albany. And there's a criminal investigation going on into her. And if you think you've heard that name before, you have. She is the woman that tried Donald Trump on those crazy Trump charges that were brought against him. She's in some deep doo-doo herself. And I'll tell you a little bit about her. And how about Jeanine Pirro? We'll touch on her a little bit too. But right now we are live. It is the